Yo, what's going on? We back at it. Back at you. We told you we was coming back. We know y'all been patient, but we are back. The most electrifying duo in the FGC, the No Frillz podcast, is back at it. I am one of the hosts, Chris Matrix, and to the far left of me, you see me back in the studio, my bro,
Silky Do-Rag Mendoza today. IFCYipeS back in the building. You already know the deal. Road Dogs is back in place. See, I had to look at it for a second because I like that precision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we ain't did it in a while. We've been facing each other, but now we back in the studio. From time to time, we'll still be on Discord also, but we back in the studio right now.
But a quick disclaimer before we introduce our guests. We apologize, guys, for not being in the mix, okay? No excuses here. We're just going to run a good show. We've been busy, all right? So moving forward, never backwards. But speaking of moving forward.
Yes, sir. Check this. If you don't know, you should. We have one of the most famous women of the FGC. We had to bring her here in person. We had opportunities to do it over video, but I said, nah, for you, we got to have you in person. Welcome to the No Frillz podcast, Sherry Jenix.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's
Hell
up, girl?
yeah.
Good to be here, of course.
What's going on? What you been up to?
Just chilling, just came back from ECT out here in the East Coast. It's been a minute since the pandemic, so, Matrix actually hit me up about this podcast a long time ago, and I was like, I'll do it when I'm back in New York, and then the pandemic happened, and I just haven't been here in a minute.
So it's crazy, right? I figured you was on his guest list because he always hits me. He's like, yo, I got a guest list of people. He don't like telling me. So you want to know how I found out, though?
How'd you find out?
Walter hit me up.
Oh, I figured that.
That's what I found out. I was like, okay, because I know when you said it on text, he was like, yeah, Sherry's pulling up. And I was like, but I already said it at the same time we was talking.
Yeah.
So like, I already knew the gist. I should have acted like I didn't know, but just let him know. Whatever.
So
but yeah.
for the people who don't know, Sherry, introduce herself to the people for the camera.
Okay, so my name is Sherry, also known as Sherry Jenix. That's my gamer tag. I am a Street Fighter competitor. Started from Street Fighter 4, 2009. Been 13 years still here. On to Street Fighter 6 soon, so I'm not going anywhere.
13 years. We had a little conversation off camera, but I wanted to present itself now on the lens. So you consider yourself an OG? You said 13 years.
13. Come on, that's more than a decade. I've been in 2 iterations fully of Street Fighters, so I feel like I've earned my stripes.
All right, so check this out. I see Chris. Hold on. Check this out. I just want to put this out there before you say something. I know you was about to let it go. Look. I've seen this spoken of a lot on Twitter, on like Facebook, or such and such, about if 09ers are actually considered OGs now. I actually seen OGs say that they're OGs now. You know what I'm saying? So, but we haven't discussed this really here at the No Frillz podcast. So, Matrix, you go on over and say what you got to say, brother.
I call all 09ers seasoned vets. I won't call them OGs because we're OGs. But it's much love to the 09ers. But I'm talking about shoulder, elbow rubbing, cabinet days, camera footage with the words and the date on the side, camera shaking, getting crowd reaction, that type of arcade stuff where you playing on whatever sticks. You don't know how good the sticks work. Buttons might be going out. Those are the type of OGs.
I feel I was there though, you know what I'm saying? Like I came towards the end of that era.
I mean, you was on console though.
Yo.
You was comfortable. When you enter the tournament, you got to use your own personal joystick.
Nah, I used arcade cabs when I first started.
In 09?
Because my very first tournament ever that got me into it was Ladies of Arcade Infinity. So it was the Rambats that were held at Arcade Infinity. And it's the 2 big machines. And then that's all we had to play on. We didn't play on consoles. We didn't bring our own sticks. We had to use machines there. That was my very first tournament.
Y'all got footage?
I mean, this is back in the day, so there was no footage like that.
But we had footage though.
No cam footage?
We didn't have cam footage, but there are pictures.
Okay, I'll do a picture. I'll accept the picture.
That's evidence.
Because it's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
This is a fact though.
It's what you can
The
prove.
pictures are there. Somewhere on the internet, it's there. On SRK.
Okay, I mean, seasoned vet.
You take that?
Seasoned vet.
Case closed.
Can't give
crazy.
your OG just yet. Can't give your OG.
So when do I cross that threshold? When do I become an OG?
You gotta be like, we gotta be pushing. You gotta be pushing 40, and you gotta love nothing but coffee. The morning kind.
So I got like 8 more years. That's crazy.
All right, so to be fair.
No. You have to go through a drastic change in gaming. Like we went from like arcades and cam footage to consoles, flat screens, and streaming.
And this is when we found out about lag. We was like, what's lag?
Yeah.
We pulled up, yo. You know what's crazy? So like, shout out to R. He was like, yeah, you know, Marvel 2. Certain cabinets and shit. Apparently there was a little lag on the input. So it's like, I knew slowdown. That was the thing, but I didn't know there was lag. But yeah, continue, Matrix.
Yeah. So we played on TVs that was this thick, and this wide. Now we playing on TVs that's this thick, and you can hold with one hand, no problem. So it's a difference. You know what I mean? We talk about the red, yellow, and white cables. You know what I mean? The joints where sometimes the DC reset for no reason. The twisty
joints.
Yeah, the RS switch.
Yeah, the metal twisties. You know what I'm saying? But like, now this is not like, we're not joking or nothing around. This is just funny because I've heard of this conversation a lot. You know what I mean? Which is pretty cool. But we could get back into that a little later. You know what I'm saying? We got all day to talk about. But you know what? We like to do something here on the No Frillz podcast. We like to call the humble beginnings.
Hold on. We gonna get to that.
You like this conversation?
Yeah. No. We've been away for a little bit, so I just want to say shout out to my bro Yipes, get back in the tournament scene, getting 5th place in DNF, man. I see you over there doing your thing and all that. You know what I mean? You was over there cheaping people out. I like that. I like to see it.
I mean. Yeah. All right, look, just.
So tell us how did it feel competing again.
So that adrenaline rush was pretty cool again. Because you can only get that really on the stage, especially when you're excited to play. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I was excited to play, I played Punk first round. Shout out to my man Punk. He was actually one of the first guys I said, yo, let's train and stuff like that in DNF, which we only did once in person. He actually pulled up over here to the den and we was playing. But no, just, yeah, like I told you, like, you see me play Dungeon Fighter Online before back in the art. When that game was out, it's like an MMO mixed with a bit of Street of Rage, Final Fight. So I was already hip to it. So the fact that they made a fighting game, I was like, damn, I'm in there. You know what I mean? So I actually fell in love with the game as I was playing it. So, and then that plus the memories of the old one and the community's fire. And I'm like playing with people that I wasn't really playing before. I mean, like Sosic Nash fan. Shout out to Sosic Nash fan. My man Nicky, K.I. Nicky. I mean, Rico's back. So like.
Oh, I didn't even know Rico was back.
Yeah, he plays Vanguard and I think he's learning Crusader right now. Not to put your gems out there.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it was just cool. The fact that I had like proper practice. I played a lot of online. Like I'm a high deity and stuff. I forgot exactly what number, and I'm bouncing back from PC to console. This is how I know, like, oh shit, like I'm really trying to like pay attention to this. Yeah. So the fact that I had to train on PS4 Pro going into the tournament, I was ready. I felt good about it. But yeah, it was just great, man. I was up there. Joe's hyping me up for the top 8. I'm like, yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, so I mean, everybody knows you also play Guilty Gear. Now, question: what game do you think you're better at?
All right, so I was at a point in Guilty Gear where I felt pretty strong.
Okay.
But then DNF dropped. And then I ain't played the game for a month.
Oh, okay.
So that's how you know I've been really rocking it. You know what I mean? So like, but I actually started playing it again and I'm getting it back and stuff like that. But like, I was actually trying to enter ECT.
Okay.
But I was so focused on DNF and I haven't played it in a month. Like, yo, you know what? If I don't show up, I don't show up. But I found out Kizzy K was in my pool. If had I known that, I probably would have gave it a shot. Raw, like that. Shout out to Kizzy K. He won KOF, man. Big shouts. But yes, let's get back on the swing of things. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, Sherry, for the next hour and a half, 2 hours is going to be all yours. So like Yipes said, we do like to do something called Humble Beginnings. And it gives our guests a great chance to really teach our guests and our warriors and us who you are, where you came from in terms of FGC and just gaming in general. So let's go back as far as you can. Where you from and how you got into gaming.
Okay, it's a random story.
Oh, we love random stories.
Okay, because originally I'm from Philly, right? But
hold on, say it again.
I'm originally from Philly.
What coast is Philly on?
East Coast.
Put it up. Go ahead. There you go. There you go.
I do.
No gang signs. I just like doing E's random. Sorry.
I am a big Philly rep. You know, I always stand for Philly. The difference is that I actually didn't play any games growing up. I was like a sports person. I was like on the basketball team. I was a nerd. I was a mathlete. So when I moved to the West Coast, which was in high school, middle of high school, my junior year, I stayed there. And when I went to college is when I started playing video games. And when I say video games, I literally only mean Street Fighter because I don't play any other video games. It was like a random interaction because,
What was the first Street Fighter you played?
Street Fighter 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I ain't knocking it though.
No, but we were talking about the OG argument. I'm just saying. We didn't skip 3.
It's been 12 years.
Okay, no, that's cool.
13 years, you know?
That's all right.
It's been a long time.
That's all right.
Damn.
I'm from the car scene, right? I love cars. I grew up loving cars my whole life. So my friends were there actually. This is how I got into tournaments. This is how I got into Street Fighter. We went to Arcade Infinity because my friends wanted to play Initial D.
Okay, so tell the people for those who don't know, where's Arcade Infinity?
Arcade Infinity is in Roland Heights, California, Southern California.
Okay.
Like a hub of the strongest like West Coast Street Fighter players, right?
Okay.
And it was coincidence that they were having a Rambat at the same time.
Okay.
And there's this player. Well, I didn't know him as a player. I knew him as a car guy. We knew him as Dan Tam. That's what we called him.
Damn who?
Dan, like Daniel. Dan Tam.
Okay, Dan Tam. Okay.
In the gaming world, he's known as Shiggle BMX.
Shout out to Shiggle BMX. I didn't even know that was his name for real.
Yeah, he's like the original one of the original SoCal Blanca players, right? So I'm over here playing Initial D, or I'm watching my friends play, and I see him, and I'm just like, yo, Dan Tam, what are you doing here? And he's like, it was a small arcade, right? He's like, yo, come outside, I'll come talk to you. So he's talking to me, and he's like, yeah, I kind of disappeared from the scene because I became a competitive Street Fighter player. And I was like, what's that? He's like, that's that game that we're playing inside.
Wow.
I was like, that's random. And he was telling me, he was like, you know, there's an event in a couple weeks. It's called Ladies of AI. And I was like, what is that? And he's like, it's an all-women Street Fighter tournament. And we're supposed to kind of like find a woman to mentor to enter into this tournament. And he's like, I haven't been able to find anyone yet. You know, this is super random. Would you be down? And I said, I am the wrong person. Like, I don't play no games. I never played any fighting games. I don't even know what Street Fighter is. And he said, no, it's for fun. Like, you'll get a prize if you win, a small prize. But, like, don't worry about it. We'll pay the entry fee and everything. And I was like, fuck it. Why not? Let's do it. So I came to his house, and we're on the character select screen. And he's like, choose a character and I'll show you. And he's like, this is my character. And he chooses Blanca. And I'm like, yo, that guy is mad ugly. There's no way I'm playing this character. So I'm like scrolling around and I land on IFCYipeS. And I was like, oh, that's a bad bitch right there. So I was like, I want to play her. And he's like, no. He's like, you are not playing IFCYipeS. And I was like, why? And he's like, this is not a character meant for a beginner. Like, especially someone's first fighting game, you do not play IFCYipeS. And I was like, nah, I want to play her. And he said, okay, I don't know how to play her. But there's this guy, my close friend, he's the original SoCal IFCYipeS player, Jenix.
Wow.
He said, Ivan is his name. He's like, this is his number. I hit him up. He said he has no problem training you, so both of us will be your mentors. So I went over there. He gave me he wrote out on a piece of paper the combos I need to practice.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got home. All I had at home was my uncle's PS3 on a wide, big screen TV. And we all know that's not unoptimal, you know?
Yeah.
You want the fast monitors, the refresh rates and all that, and you want to play on an Xbox. It was an Xbox back then.
Yes.
And I was trying to play on a PlayStation pad. So I was trying to do like these instant flame kicks, and I was like, I don't know how to use this controller. I can't do it. I started practicing in the arcade, so I need an arcade stick. So I asked my uncle, I said, it's June. I know my birthday's in October, but for my birthday present, can you buy me a Mad Cat stick? Because everyone has these. Like, I got to get one. And he's like, sure, whatever. And he bought that for me, and I started practicing. And then, 2 weeks later was a tournament, and I got washed. I got smoked. But, I started I met a lot of people in the community. I started going every day. I literally went there every day. And
do you remember who you lost to? Or it was random?
Who did I lose to? I definitely lost to a bison. Bison is I can't beat bisons. That's that character right there. But I honestly don't remember, but it was fun. It wasn't fun losing, and I'm a very competitive person, so I was like, this is something I definitely want to learn, pick up. And I was kind of iffy about it, I had just started, right? But my friends were like, yo, there's this tournament in Vegas. It's coming up in a couple weeks. You should come. And I said, what tournament is it? And they're like, it's EVO. It's the biggest tournament ever. You got to come check it out. And I love driving, so I was like, fuck it, let's go to EVO. You guys can all carpool with me. And I didn't know
09?
anybody. This is 09.
Okay. Then that was like one of the biggest evos too.
Yeah.
Because that was the first one for Street Fighter.
Were you guys there?
Yeah.
So you know what's crazy is you guys are
Daigo
probably
was chucking so much plasma.
Yeah, and then
Hell yeah.
you guys were probably in the front when Justin had reset with Balrog, right?
Yeah.
And then he stood up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you guys all cheered.
Who's talking
Yes.
smack?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was all the way in the back. I didn't know anything. I went 0-2. I lost to 2 Bisons. That's what I.
She said, I lost them.
I lost to 2
Dang,
Bisons.
that character's haunting you right now.
It's a reoccurring thing.
It is, honestly. So I'm sitting there, and then it's Daigo and Justin in the finals, and I'm like, I don't know who these guys are, but they have to be really good if they're in the grand finals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Justin had reset with his Balrog, and then when he did, he like stood up and he put his hands up. And I remember the entire front row, which I'm assuming is all you guys from New York. You guys went ham. You guys were like screaming, like, let's go, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was just like, that was a moment for me because I was like, damn, I want to be that person. I want to be up there and, moving the crowd, representing the U.S. So I just stuck with it ever since. Under the name Sherry Jenix.
Okay. Now, question. So cryogenics, Sherry Jenix, that's what connects. It's like, that was a squad. That was pretty much like.
Yeah. I didn't even come up with the name. They Shigol signed me up as Sherry Jenix, and it just stuck with me ever since. Like
That's
everybody,
fire. That's
Yeah,
fire.
that is
That's
fire.
fire. The name is cool. To me, the name is cool. You know what I mean? But knowing the origin now, it makes more sense. You know what I mean? It's more golden. All right. Nice.
So all throughout Street Fighter 4, you stuck with IFCYipeS pretty much?
Yeah, I stuck with IFCYipeS.
Only.
Like I played other characters. Like I played Honda. I played Blanca. My Honda, actually, I got smoked for the first 6 months. I remember I was entering all these local tournaments, and I was like, bruh, I cannot
This in SoCal.
beat anyone in SoCal.
At Arcade Infinity?
Arcade Infinity, Dungeon. That was like the Third Strike home. James Games, like Family Fun. I was entering all these local tournaments, and I was getting cooked, like 0-2 for months. And I would always be like, yo, I don't think my practice is working. Like I'm not beating anyone. And then I remember at Dungeon for the very first time, I had to play against a Zangief player, and I was like, I'm not choosing Viper. I hated Viper Zangief because I didn't understand how to zone yet, right? So I chose Honda. All I did was headbutt in hands, and I actually won. That was the first time I ever didn't go 0-2. I went 2-2. And I was like happy, and I was like, okay, we getting somewhere.
We somewhere.
Yeah.
So
crazy. So were there other women there entering at that time or no?
There was a handful. Like there was me who played Viper. There was Lena who played Blanca. There was actually a lot of Blanca players. There was Miyuki who was really good. She was the Able player.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. She was in 09.
Yeah, she was in 09.
Yeah. All right. So that was you and her in the elevator. Was it Miyuki, the Able player?
Probably. I don't
think so. The first time I ever seen you, it was just everybody was like, you know how everybody meets up in front of the elevator, everybody ready to go, knock out, whatever. I remember seeing you go in the elevator with another Street Fighter player. I think that's who it was, because I recognized her, but like I didn't know who you was. You know what I'm saying? But that was the first time I remember seeing you.
Yeah, Miyuki was sick. Her mentor was Black Pyro, and she's the one who won the Ladies of AI tournament.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and Stacy got second. Stacy's OG. She counts because she's an ST player.
Okay.
She's a Bison player.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, being that Street Fighter was your actual first fighting game, a lot of people that play Street Fighter 4, they played fighting games before in general, so they already established certain fundamentals and everything. So you losing probably was something on your psyche, but it's not unusual being that that's your first fighting game. You know what I mean? People already understand the basics of footsies, fireball spacing, not jumping, those direct concepts. You know what I mean? So I mean, you pretty much caught up pretty fast and caught on pretty quickly. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing. And I guess probably choosing IFCYipeS, that probably wasn't a character you should have started with.
I was just about to say that.
You know
right
what
when
I
you
mean?
was about to say, so I'm pretty sure when you was trying to do flame kicks, it was annoying as hell at first, right?
Yeah, I was stressed. I could not do her combos, and it was pissing me off.
Yeah, she's high execution, because I remember in the arc, I remember when Sanford was learning her combos.
Yes.
And, Kel's got godlike execution. So he did eventually get them shits. But when he was learning them, he was like, yo, these combos is OD. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, choosing that type of character with doing the super jump cancels, everybody would say she's not a character meant for this game. She's a Marvel character.
Yeah, Sherry, the fact that you're still here, it just is a representation of the grind at the end of the day. You know what I mean? The fact that you started with IFCYipeS in 09 and you still here wishing for IFCYipeS. Yeah, it's pretty sick. You know what I mean? So that's respect. The only reason I say that is this: in order for you to really take this serious, it has to be a passion first somehow, but it has to kick in. Obviously, this ain't the every day, right? But something that you love to do, that you want to escape your regular life and stuff like that, you know, it's cool. And I would say, and you say you came from the car scene, right?
Yeah.
So like, look how like it just messed up, and then like, you know, she's still around. So like, it takes a lot of guts, I would say, too, and just a lot of dedication to just play a game, man. At the end of the day, and you still here, so I respect that, for sure.
Thank you.
So I respect that.
Was Cryogenics, because Cryogenics was a CYiPES player.
Yeah.
Was he like your favorite CYiPES, or did you start watching other CYiPES, like Japanese ones also, and did you say like, damn?
Good questions.
Yeah. This was like all before YouTube was like really big for Street Fighter, but I, you know, as the years progressed, I went to my first season's meetings in 2010, October 2010, or it was 2011. But that's when like the Japanese players would come and we would have the US versus the world
11
tournaments.
Oh no, 10. No, I think you're right. One of them was. I'm sorry.
Yeah, one of them. I think it was 2010 was my first one, but there's that player Urio.
I think because that was Marvel 3.
No, Marvel 3. The first Marvel 3 tournament was 2011.
It was before Marvel 3.
Yeah, that was 2010.
I think it was 2010.
That was Redemption. She was at Redemption.
Redemption, yeah. That was my very first season's meeting.
That's when Justin played Daigo.
No, that was 09.
That was 09?
Yes.
Damn. All right, good. I'm done.
Nah, but Urio was actually a CYiPES player. So he was someone that I looked up to. Yeah, and I thought it was crazy. I was like, damn, like there's, you know, he's one of the Japanese, well, not a god, but he was definitely one of the best Japanese players that played Viper. So I think that's kind of where like my name started getting traction, because I played him and it was actually a pretty close set. And like I got to play all these Japanese players and like I did pretty well against them. Then came Wolf Pro and then came Latif, and I actually think Latif was the #1 Viper for me.
I was gonna ask you about that too. I was gonna say who's the #1, and I was thinking about Latif. I'm like, it gotta be Latif.
Wolf Crone got like
Wolf Crone had a great season.
Yeah, he did. There's actually a third one that people always overlook, and it's Jace the Ace.
Jace is not. It's just that he wasn't traveling like that.
Yeah, he wasn't traveling, but he's SoCal, you know. So
yeah. About Jace, shout out to Jace the Ace, man.
Jace is ridiculous. Yeah. He's a grown man now. That's crazy.
I was just
when I met him. Well, I mean, when I started playing, I was 18. He was probably like 14 or something. So it's like in my mind, he's still a little kid with godlike execution. But I remember, like, you know, I hated Bison. So every single time I would watch them play, I'd be like, yo, how are they beating Bisons?
Yeah.
And then Jace was cooking all the Bisons because he had these crazy options to like. Like you couldn't EX Cycle Crusher out. He was on it, like. So I would say Latif and Jace were like the two best Vipers that I really enjoyed watching.
Fire, yeah, Jace stays. Yeah, when I seen him, I was like, yo, what the hell?
So just a heads up, you know, if there's anybody out there who doesn't understand what an option select is, it's basically when you input something, and depending on what the opponent does, you know, it will select which input will take priority. So for instance, like with Shotos on Wake Up in Street Fighter 4, you can do a meaty jump in on their Wake Up, and when you tap the kick button, you can also input a DP. Now, if they block the kick, the DP won't come out because the character won't land. But if they do an invincible move, they will make the character land, and then the DP will come out. Perfect. So that's what an option select basically 100%. Is. So when she's saying Bison was getting option selected, that means she was taking away his Wake Up option where he had to take some shit. You know what I mean? So that's something like that can definitely change a matchup. If you're not getting a chance to get your mix-ups off because somebody keeps getting out with an invincible move or something like that, the option selects cover that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, right? All right, so being at 09, you know, was your first tournament and everything like that. I mean, can you go back to how you were feeling? Were you nervous?
Oh man, let me tell you. I still get really nervous to this day, right? But it was much worse back then because, you know, you're younger, it's a new scene, new crowd, like you don't know majority of these people. And I felt like, you know, I was really self-conscious. So, you know how in the arcade you got to put that quarter up to play? Yeah. I refused to do it. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna sit here and watch it. And it was the era of Mike Ross and Kino. Like they would be the ones that are on the machine with their like 100 win streaks and whatnot. And I was like, I'm watching them play, and everyone's getting smoked by Kino, and I'm like, I don't want to play that. Like it's gonna make me look really bad because I can't. I'm not even as good as these people, and they're all losing to Kino.
Right.
So I would just stand in the crowd in the back like this with my arms folded. And Cryogenics was like, no, you're gonna have to eventually get over this because as you keep on playing, more people are gonna watch you. Like you gotta be okay with playing on the big screen, playing in the arcades and whatnot. So he actually put a quarter up there for me, and he's like, that's your quarter, you're in line. I was like, fuck. I was like, okay. I just stood I just moved to the back. And I didn't say nothing. And then eventually, people were like, yo, who's next? Who's quarter? And I didn't say nothing. And Ivan pushed me. He's like, it's her quarter. So I sat there. And let me tell you, I remember what happened because Keno was going a little easy on me. Obviously, he was going to let me win, but he let me throw him in the corner, right? Mm-hmm. I did throw. And while he was still knocked down, I mashed out Ultra. Because I was nervous. And then, like, everybody's like, what the... And, you know, I get off.
You just did a random Ultra.
I did a random Ultra. Yeah. And it's like the animation's there. Everybody's watching. And they're like, why was she Ultra? He was still not... Like, he wasn't even on his wake-up frames yet. Yeah. And then I got off and I was like, what was that Ultra? Like, it wasn't even a combo or something. Why'd you just do it? And I was like, I got really scared. You know? So, I get nervous. I got nervous. I still get nervous. Like, that feeling will always be there for me. Just not as bad. It's more manageable now.
Yeah. I just, I know the nerves come from mostly you have like these self-expectations about yourself in terms of like tournaments and whatever the case may be. So I can understand because I still be nervous myself. The thing about me as a competitor as well, like you can relate to this, is like even when you're in a pool, whatever the case may be, you're like, I wonder if I can actually make it fall.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing your road and shit. Like you start seeing, like, okay, he plays this. All right. I think this is doable. What about this? What about at the end of the road? Yep. You know what I mean? That's when it gets tough, man. But I can relate to that in terms of nerves.
So I used to get nervous in tournaments, and then I don't know, for some reason, like something kind of changed in me and clicked as of lately. Like I'll say like the past maybe like 5 years. And now I just look at tournaments like I live for competition. So now it's just so much fun to me to enter a tournament and just to compete with people. Like if I get waxed, I'm like, oh, okay, let's go. like a Dragon Ball character, you know what I mean? Like when they get fucked up and they're like, oh, good, a challenge. Now, like I get excited at the whole idea of playing really good people in a tournament, you know what I mean? So that I don't know. For me, just thinking about just trying to have fun and just play the best competition, that took the nerves away because I'm not playing for other people. Now I'm playing for me to experience great competition. So that's what did it for me. You know what I mean? But when you first on there and you're like, oh man, like I don't want to look bad. When you think of it like that, it's crazy. You can't play. Your hands are shaking. Yeah. You know what I mean? All of a sudden you hear everything that's going on. Like, oh, and then if you're getting fucked up and the crowd is going, oh. It's crazy. But I mean, because of where we from, we're used to a lot of shit like that. You know what I mean? So it breeds you a certain different way. Yeah. But I mean, I get that, but it's good that, you were able to build up to where it happens less. Obviously, you're going to get nervous because you have high expectations for yourself, and you should because you're a good player. You know what I mean? So obviously, you want to do well. You want to see, how well you can do. So after you started getting wins in tournament, right? When did that? It happens to everybody. When does that confidence set in that, like, all right, I'm not a scrub no more? Like when you start saying like, all right, listen, you could beat me, but I'm not a scrub no more.
Yeah, I actually felt that way. I felt like I hit that in Street Fighter 4, but I actually felt like I never hit that in Street Fighter 5. I think it might start hitting me now and it's a later stage, but in Street Fighter 4, it was like I was so confident when I started winning everything because I started doing money matches, and it was like high stakes money matches. I was money matching for like hundreds, like 500, 600, 700, and I didn't like.
Oh, I remember one specific.
Oh yeah. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it.
Oh, I was there.
Yipes was there. I remember that. I think that was my first one that like meant a lot to me. So I was really nervous and shaky there. But
you know what? Wait.
I was literally about to just say that. I was like, listen, we're here.
We're here. Let's talk about that. What happened there? What was that match? Who was it with? How did it come about? Floor is yours.
All right.
We're here.
Okay. It's actually, there's a little bit of it on YouTube. There was like the after interview with it, right? So I'm from the West Coast FGC, but I am originally from Philly, right? And people got to remember that because I'm not going to back down once someone starts talking. So it was in the early stages of Twitch. There were people streaming here and there. I was playing my League of Legends peacefully on my stream. And it was actually, I was duoing with Fnatic, right? So we're playing League. And all of a sudden, this is Skype days. There was no Discord, none of that. We were on Skype and he's like, yo, Shay, do you see what's going on? Do you hear what's going on a EMP stream right now?
What do you call you?
Sherry.
Oh,
What did I say?
okay. I think you said something else.
Did I say something else? My bad.
No, you said Yo Sherry. I thought he called you Yo Shay. All right, go ahead.
No, Sherry. And then all these randoms started coming in my chat. They're like, you need to go to the EMP stream right now. They're talking about you. I was like, okay, hold up. So I went there. So I'm watching. And I go in the stream chat. And I'm like, yo, what's up? And everyone's like, oh my gosh, Sherry's here. So it's Triforce. He's streaming, and then like you hear.
Shout out to Triforce Game Master. If you haven't seen the past 5 episodes of No Frillz podcast, please check it out. It is Chronicles of the Triforce Game Master.
I hear Triforce, it gets nostalgic to me every time. I'm already there, so I remember that day. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then Q's voice. Q. She's a woman out from the East Coast. I guess you can say she's OG, right?
She's OG. She's before my time.
Yeah,
my time too. Actually.
Shout out to Quidera. That's the homie right there.
She's before my time too.
Yeah.
Yes, but go ahead.
Yeah, she was talking a little bit reckless out there, you know. I came in and she was already talking about how Sherry Jenix ain't got no footsies. Like, granted, I play CYiPES, so I understand where she was coming from.
I respect that.
I respect that too.
She's like, you know, she's a CYiPES player. Like, she don't know games like that. She doesn't have footsies. She got no fundamentals, etc., etc. And I was like,
I mean, technically, that might have been true because you was new, you was fresh on the scene. You couldn't have those things.
And this
yet.
is hold on. What year was this? This was 2010,
2010.
right?
This is 2010.
So okay,
I mean, you might have developed a little something, but
hold on.
Go ahead, guys.
No, 2011. It was 2011.
No, I think it was 2010. I think it was 2010. So I remember I was outside. I remember everybody was there.
Yeah.
Monique was there.
Yeah, I remember everybody was outside, but was that 2010? I felt like that was 2011.
Because all right, so I would say it's 2010 because in the season of 2010, a lot of the EMP people was at the spot at Midwood.
Yes.
And this was early EMP streams. So
yes.
If Quidera was there, that was 2010.
Okay, it was 2010. So it was during Ladies of Evo as well.
I remember my shit. Yo.
I'm glad you remember. I get my years mixed up. So I was just like, yo, if you truly think that, why don't we run a money match then? And there was just like, everybody's like, oh, okay, let's set it up. And I was like, this is before I like really heavily started traveling. They're like, yo, come out to the East Coast. We'll have you guys money match and blah, 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 blah. And I said, nah, I'm not going to East Coast. Why don't you guys just come to Evo? Like everyone comes to Evo.
True.
And then she was like, I don't know if I'm going to go to Evo. I was like, well, if you want to talk all that, you better save your money and start, planning your trip to Vegas. And eventually it happened. Like, it's weird because it's not like we planned when it was going to happen during Evo. We just knew that she was there and I was there. So we're just like, eventually we're going to run to each other and play. So whatever day it was either Saturday night or something.
Nah, it was like heading to the nighttime. But I just remember it was like I think it was a Saturday.
Yeah, because I was just walking.
And you said 2010?
2010.
Yes.
Was that in the room?
It was in a room. We were in
the
hallway.
In the hallway. Yeah.
So it was in the hallway because what had happened was I was walking out of
Was I around?
I don't think you were.
I remember seeing it, but I don't remember I seen the video or if I was there.
You was there if you're trying to remember because that's what we want to have.
I know I was definitely at the Evo, 100%. Was I there? I was there.
You were there?
I remember. But do you remember what we did?
No. But I remember why I was there because I remember the sodium. But go ahead. No, we gonna get there. We gonna get there.
No, you was there, but you didn't watch the whole thing. I'm gonna explain to you what happened. May I have the floor for a second?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I remember the call out. I remember I was somewhere like that hallway, like going to Craymore's room. Like I remember, like everybody was like talking smack, whatever. Hyping it up. And Triforce already knows putting a bug in the ear, to get some fire, because he wants, the Valkyries to get some money and some victories and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Respectfully, on some love shit, right? Mm-hmm. But let's go to Evo. So I was one of those hecklers that was rooting for Q.
Of course.
Heavy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Q. That's my sister. You know what I'm saying? So like, but there was a point in time where the match, like, they playing, but there was a point in time in the match where the momentum shifted like completely.
I know when too.
And okay, you have the floor on that one. So I remember looking around, and I'm gonna tell you all the people that was. I'm gonna drop names. Fuck it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop some names. Gotta know. So I look back. I think Javits was there, and I see Aqua Silk for sure.
Damn.
I look back, right, as like, Sherry took the lead and was stretching it, right? I look back, and Aqua Silk just looks over. He said, "This shit's fucking free." and then he dipped. He just yo. He just dipped. I ain't see him no more. He was like, man, fuck this shit. He was like mad. He was upset, and he dipped. Right? I swear, I think Javits was there. Was he?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. It's like names
before
are
I
just
knew
pulling up.
anyone.
Oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, but Monique was there, and I think Monique, she was a little inebriated. You know what I'm saying? But she was popping off. Like talking shit. And I just couldn't say nothing. It was just bust ass. You know how you rooting for people like, yeah, it's alright. But it was like, it was stretching. So, but yeah, I remember that clearly. And then after a while, we all did. But you pulled up during the assault, but you was there mid-set watching it from the back, and you just dipped. Because you saw what was going on. You exactly saw what's going on.
Okay.
But yeah, it was close, and then it wasn't close. That's all I remember from the set.
Okay, so proceed.
So it was only close. First, okay, so how it started was like me leaving the ballroom, right? And we're in the hallway, and there's like little spots where people can chill. There's little outlets, and then there's escalators to the left. And eventually I see Q, and then everybody's like, "Hey yo, they're both here right now." And I'm like, "Yo, someone get a setup." And I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't have my stick with me or anything." So I borrowed someone's stick. I had that Street Fighter Cross Tekken stick that I borrowed, the really light plastic one. I hated that stick.
Who was Q using again?
Rufus.
Let me tell you.
Go ahead.
So, so this is how I knew fundamentals weren't a thing with her argument, because she was trying to counterpick me OD. Like, her character's Dawson, right? If that's your shit, then stick with your shit. But she tried Cammy, she tried Rufus, and like in the beginning, I was using that person's stick, right? Whoever's it was, and we were going back and forth. It was 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. And then when it hit 3-3 or something like that, I stood up and I said, "Yo, does someone have a Mad Catz TE stick? I don't want to use the stick no more." And I hear all the East Coast, "Yo, she's making up excuses. She's blaming the stick.
I remember that. I remember that. I
was like, "Nope, I'm telling you it's a stick. Someone give me a Mad Catz stick."
Guilty.
I remember the stick. Yeah, because
so I was like,
I'm not gonna lie. When I heard you asking for the stick, I was like, "Oh, she done. I was like, she done.
Because I was just like, "Yo,
There was frustration on your face.
Frustration. The one thing I knew I had in Street Fighter 4 was anti-airs. And if you play Cammy or Rufus, you could not dive kick me. And I just could not get my anti-airs. So when it went even, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna let this go any further. So I was like, "Yo, someone give me a stick." And someone gave me the Mad Catz stick, and we sat down, and everybody's like, "Yo, it's a wash. She's blaming the stick." So we sit there, and I just streak on her ass. And then I heard someone in the back, "Yo, maybe it really was a stick."
Yo, I really do remember that day, but I continue.
It was the score went to 9-3, me, and then it went 9-4. But then on the very last game, like, that shit was free. Like, I was definitely gonna win, and Justin was actually on my side, because Justin's a homie. He was sitting next to me on the floor. Right when I'm comboing her, he whispers, "Be the bigger person, Sherry. Don't say nothing." And I was like I was serious. So I did my combo, ended.
She said,
stood up, grabbed the money, started counting it.
"How much I play for?"
Just $100.
Okay.
But
no, it's good.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And what's crazy is right after this, while I'm counting the money, Q is on the sideline, called Triforce, and was like, "She got it, but she ain't seen me in no other game."
Oh.
And then I looked at her.
Oh, we out here interpolating.
Okay.
Oh.
So.
She said she got
it. You heard that?
She
ain't
was
seen me in no other game
on purpose.
Oh.
Like, she was doing that thing where she was talking around me to make sure I could hear.
Oh, okay.
So then
I was playing. Okay.
So I looked at her. I was like, "I know you ain't talking shit right now." And then we started going at it. I was like, "I know you ain't talking shit right now because I just beat your ass." And she's like, "Nah. Like, this is Street Fighter. You can have that. But we talking about real games. We talking about real games like Marvel and shit." And I was like,
That's so real.
I was like, "I don't play those games." And then she's like, "Yo, who are you talking to like that?" And I was like, "I'm talking to you like that."
Oh.
So we were fighting. And then F-Champ Ryan, the fuck, I'm a small girl, right? He came and literally picked me up and put me on his shoulders, and then took me down the escalator and said, "Sherry, don't do that. You're better than that." He's like, "It's over. You won. It's over. Let it go." And I was like, "Nah, if she wants to talk, we can talk." So, but then I did an interview after, and I bought some chicken wings and treated everyone out with her money.
Oh, you know what it was? Like, obviously, I we already knew the results, obviously explaining the story, but I feel that fire, just, that doubt was there, and you shut her up, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God,
Your
it felt
opponent,
so good.
Especially because you minding your own business. And people telling you somebody talking shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You playing, you're like, who? They're like, yo, come to the street, come to the street. You're like, what? You're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why's my name in your mouth?
You know what's crazy? Is that there was a run back that people don't know about.
Oh. I was just about to ask whether there ever talks of a run back.
This is years later.
I don't know about this.
This is in New York.
Get the fuck out of here.
This is in like 2013.
In my state?
Yeah.
A run back? And I didn't know about this?
Actually, I think Art was streaming it.
Where was this at?
This was at, was it Lee Chung's basement?
The pie sessions.
The pie sessions.
It was on camera.
It was on camera.
I remember that.
I don't talk about it, but you know, it happened.
Street Fighter 4?
Chin was
Street
there.
Fighter
All of
4.
them was there, right? Chin was there.
No, I was the only West Coast person there.
No, I said Chin.
Oh, Chin. Yeah. Chin was there.
Chin was there.
All
I
of Pie
remember
was
that.
there. The
All of
original
Pie was
Pie.
Another first to 10?
First to 5.
Corsino? Or just
They
Pride?
it was just Pride.
Okay.
Respect.
Talk about it.
I mean, it was like, you know, I was standing there. I went there to practice.
I don't know.
Yeah, I really don't know.
I don't know.
It was New York. I was visiting, right? And obviously, I go to all the sessions. So they was like, yo, pull up. There's a pie session going on. So I'm like, okay, I'm there. Uber there, go down the stairs. And then everybody's like, yo, Sherry's here? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yo, Q's here. I said, that's random. and then Art's like, yo.
Ooh, she got set up.
He's like, let me talk to you a second, Sherry. And I'm just like, okay. He pulls me to the side. He's like, what can we do to get you to run it back with Q right now? I said,
Yeah, Art.
I said, I got nothing, like, I got
None
nothing to
against the
prove.
squash, that's it.
I was like, there's no money, there's nothing. Like, what's the point of this? He's like, yo, you got to do it for the people. Like, the people want to see it. I said, what people? I said, people don't even know about this. It's been years, you know? And he's like, nah, like, all of East Coast is here. Like, they want to see it. The stream wants to see it. I don't even know how many viewers they
I
were.
wanted to see it.
You wanted to see it?
Yeah.
You wanted to see it?
Yeah. I wanted to definitely. But go ahead, sorry.
No, and then I was like, all right, you know what? I'll do it for the peoples. Let's run it. And everyone's like, oh, shit, let's do it. First to 5 for nothing, just for the pride. So we sit down. And obviously, I'm the only one there from the West Coast. So now it's all of New York behind me. And they were all saying, this ain't Evo, Sherry. This ain't Vegas. Welcome to our hood. Like, you better not talk shit. I was like, all I got to do is sit down and play and I'll be good. 5-0.
You?
Free.
Boss ass? Say bus ass.
Bus ass.
Ooh.
That was a bus ass.
Let me see it. That was.
Ooh.
Let me see something here.
It was so quiet. It was so funny because they were talking mad shit. Like all of New York was behind me. They were talking so much shit. And then, but I was at the point where I was like, I know I'm godlike in Street Fighter 4. You guys cannot affect me. So I was sitting there playing, and then, you know, she's doing the same thing where she's counterpicking, because you know that Dawson would get washed by Viper. That shit was free.
That's that. See,
And then-
the confidence hit. She said, I know I'm godlike in Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
That's it. You can't affect me.
And so it's just like everybody was so loud, and it like, you know, as the games go on, it's the same thing as like Vegas, right? Everybody's just like, oh shit, yeah, let's go. Okay, this is looking kind of bad.
Oof.
You know, it got really, really quiet. And then on the very
Crickets,
last game,
yeah.
I think it was CD Jr. who was like, hey yo, you better not say nothing, Sherry. Don't say nothing when you win.
Yo, hold on.
We,
Yo, there's a lot of evidence and footage of look at this. Look.
Oh, we got the
That's
footage?
Evo, right?
No. Yeah, look, you got the aftermath footage. Have you seen this before?
I haven't.
I never clicked the videos. Like,
I haven't. I'll take a couple links, sir.
I'll send them to you.
That's
Yeah.
It, right? No. That's the talking shit. That's what
And
started it.
you know what, guys? We will definitely try to put the links to those sets in the description also. Shout out to Q. You know what I mean? Like, but it's about Sherry.
It's history.
Yeah. We gonna talk.
respect
We gonna
that.
talk to
It's
you
for the
later.
culture.
Yeah.
We gonna
Look,
talk to you
at
later.
the end of the
Q.
day, look, we all rep for New York 100%, but sometimes when you get wounded and you get wounded good, like it was accurate, you know what I mean? You just gotta take that, gotta hold that shit. We hold that shit. We hold it with you. We hold it for
Damn, that's
you.
crazy. I was just about to ask whether there talks of a run back.
There you go, 5-0, bang.
Ooh, well, she said bust ass too.
But
Yo,
respect though.
so look. It's crazy too, right? Because she said, you know, it was no money about nothing. Pride, right? Keep that word, pride. So the new shit that we be doing in NY when it comes to the Marvel, right? And we got this from Desmond, the execution of Pinckney. Shout out to Des, right? So, you know, obviously the freaking eternal rivalry with Josh and Desmond. Estevakians versus Grace Marians, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Correct.
So You know what I mean? Josh and Desmond always running their first and 10s. So Josh is like, yo, pull up, come to the crib. Come on, let's play. Let's get it. You know what I mean? He really want to beat Desmond. Desmond had a couple sets putting a foot in his ass, right? So we already at Josh's, and Des is on stream. He's like, y'all, I'm on my way. Des Yo, this story's crazy. Desmond is like, yo, I'm literally coming over. I'm going to fuck you up in the first set, then I'm dipping. Right? Yo, Desmond comes through the door, and you know how Desmond do. Damn, we need to do a true FGC stories on this one. You know how Desmond do, right? He comes through like, let's fucking go. So they sit down. Desmond wins the set. Yo, no lie, Desmond just gets up after the set. He's putting on his belt. He's like, grand opening, grand closing. John's like, run it back. He's like, nah. Grand opening, grand closing. He's putting his belt on. He's like, yo, run it back for 700. He said, I don't want your money, baby. I want your pride.
Was that Jason's?
No, it was at Josh.
It was at Josh's?
Yo, no lie.
Was that it?
No. Desmond came, put foot in ass, and then he was in the stream chat with 15 minutes later after.
He said grand opening.
He was fixing the belt. He was like, you heard the belt buckle like, click. He put his hoodie back on. He said, yo, run it back for 700. Josh went to the room. He came back. He said, Desmond's gone. He said, yo, he's gone.
Yeah, he said, I want your pride. Those are the best.
So that's the new shit. We were like, nah, I don't want your money. I want your pride. He said it just like that. So. Oh, gosh.
Did I watch that? Like, I know I wasn't there.
Oh.
Streamed. I might have watched the VODs. I got to check that out. Was it bust ass?
I don't remember the set. It was convincing, though.
Okay.
It was enough to make y'all salty and want to run back for money. Oh, gosh. And then Desmond proceeded right back into the stream chat, like 15 minutes later, like he wasn't even there. So it's funny when you said, like, okay, it was just for pride, because truth be told, sometimes those sets hurt more.
Yes.
You know what I mean? When it's just straight for pride and you can't say nothing, especially since it was 5-0, it's like, what do you say? 5-4, you can be like, all right, could have went either way. Maybe 5-3, you might have choked something up. 5-0, bust ass.
But you know what? Let's move forward though. So you was in the mix of your story going from Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 5, right? All right, I'm gonna keep it a buck. You're good in Street Fighter 5, but obviously I feel like you was better in 4, right? But that's only because you actually had a character you really liked. Come on, you go from flame kicks and cheap shit. Yeah, your character was wild cheap, Sherry.
It was fun.
Yo, shout out to Lateef.
Cheap is fun.
You a piece of shit, Lateef. Yo, I played him one time in an arcade. It was at Super Arcade, the first one.
Were you playing Bison?
Yeah, he hit me with every unblockable in the book. This was before the quick rises and all that good shit. Like you couldn't delay tech, nothing.
Yeesh.
Unblockables. And I'm blocking. I looked at him, I said, unblockable? It's one of those. He was like, yeah. He was like, yes. Pretty good. It's my guy Lateef. Yeah, bro. Chief, fuck. That's what he was on. No, he was broken teeth, but he won a razor. That's throwback.
Yo, shout out to Lateef, man. Yo, that man is in some great shit,
yes.
Yo. God damn, he bulked up. You know what I mean? He's right, healthy, eating right. Yo, shout out to him, man.
Yo, bro, and mind you, let me tell you something. So like, you would think with all that time he's been gone, and like he put on the weight, he would change a little bit. Nope, same goofy guy, always smiling at everything, laughing at everything. He got that crazy pitch laugh too. Like it's Lateef. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it like that.
Go ahead, do it though, dude.
He'd be like, like it's like mad. It's mad piercing. I can't do it. People know. But yeah, no. So like again, like I feel that way because you actually liked IFCYipeS. You know what I mean? I know you like Nikali. You was dunking on him.
He's alright.
The ground pound was reminiscent.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? But that was the thing I was talking about.
Yipes might be an extra harsh critic though, because he's a Nikali man also.
But I liked him though. She said she didn't like him though.
No. I'm saying when you're gauging her, you're probably looking at her with an extra critical eye because you played the character.
No. Facts. But it's more so like the enjoyment of the games. You know what I mean? But yeah, agree. Tell me if I'm wrong on this, Harry. Do you feel like, and it's not even really comparing games to like engines, whatever. do you feel like Street Fighter V left you a little high and dry because a character like Viper wasn't in the mix for you to fully enjoy? Because I feel like you rock with 5, but it's more so, you know, the camaraderie, the fact that you could travel, eat everywhere, you're always with the homies, you know what I'm saying? And just overall competition, you know?
Yeah, so like I definitely, that's why I don't really ever see me leaving competition, because like it's not just the game in itself that I like everything that's revolving around it. But I agree with Street Fighter V, where I felt like I didn't really find a character that was enjoyable for me. Like Nikali, obviously I fuck with him, but I think it kind of prepared me for Street Fighter 6, because I was like, damn, I want that cheap shit again, you know, some fun time, some top tier shit. But not only that, I actually think just sticking out with Nikali actually taught me a lot of things. Because, you know, in Street Fighter 4, frame data is a thing, wasn't a big deal back then, but it's just like you don't think about stealing turns, you don't think about certain things. But obviously, Viper's played very different from any other Street Fighter character, right? So when it came to like, with punishing and actually like learning how to zone with the size moves with Nikali, because you had the DP, like it taught, I actually think I grew much stronger as a player. I think I'm actually a stronger player now, but it is what you said, where it's just like I really enjoyed playing Viper in Street Fighter 4. So I just felt like I was a better player in Street Fighter 4 than I was in 5. But I think I am a stronger player now than I was before. And I feel like that's inevitable. I've been playing for 13 years now.
Yeah. Oh, man, keep throwing that number.
13!
Seasoned vet.
Seasoned vet.
Not OG, seasoned vet.
Do you accept that title?
Seasoned vet is
I'll
good.
take it. I mean, like in my mind, I might still be OG, you know.
Maybe, but what about the OGs think? You know, the ones that was roll canceling.
I mean, these can
and
be OGs. There's multiple levels
what they
of
feel
OG.
like. You know what I mean? Like no disrespect, but they don't be respecting the Street Fighter 4 game, you know. But they were like, yo, but they got ultras in this game. They wasn't feeling that shit at all.
It was like focus attack.
Yeah.
They was like, what is that?
God, when
what?
focus attack was yo, Sherry, when I tell you the OGs hated that shit.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I can't play footsies. Like I'm gonna just get crumpled, even though obviously you get 2-in-1. But sometimes you get decked with shit. Level 2, a quick level 2, bam.
Yeah. I mean,
Your shit was ass though.
My focus was ass, and focus actually cooked Viper.
Yeah. That was a strategy to fight in a focus attack. Crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so damn, that was, man. You know what's crazy? Usually in the No Frillz podcast, we'll have like a long story. Like no disrespect, like they'll be like, yo, man, I started with Super Nintendo. You know what I'm saying, or some arcade shit. You know what I mean? She straight up just said, nope. I just, I pulled up to the arcade. One of our homies was missing for a while out of action driving. I seen him play Street Fighter 4. I was like, yo, what the hell is that? Here you are.
Yep. That's my story.
So, okay, so let me ask you, right? So when you told me your story, when you told us your story about how you first got into playing, so obviously before then you weren't playing, and obviously you had your friends, right? So like, what's their perspective on you playing video games, fighting games?
It's funny. My friends from Philly, they think it's crazy because I go back every year for Big E tournaments, right? And there's always at least 3 tournaments a year back in Philly. So when I go back, I like just plan my trips around seeing them around the tournaments, and they're like mind fucked. They're just like, you're here for Street Fighter? That's just crazy because you didn't play any games growing up, you know?
Exactly.
You know, my childhood friends actually think it's pretty cool. I feel like my West Coast friends, they don't really care. They don't care about it as much. But that kind of like, as you get older, you kind of observe more things, right? And you kind of like learn about people, understand how people operate more. So I just learned that there's different types of people in this world. And being in the FGC, I felt like everyone I know is competitive to a certain level, right? So we all understand each other on that level. But there's people in this world that just don't care for competition. Like, it's just, they don't care. They don't see the point in it. They're okay with whatever they're doing. So I actually don't ever, like, when I'm chilling in West Coast and it's not with like gaming people or car people, it's just straight like what normal people talk about. I don't know, like their jobs and homes and stuff. They don't ask about my Street Fighter. They don't care to like come out and check it out or anything like that. That's just their own thing. But it's a good balance, you know. Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to be with people that can offer a different perspective.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, see, I never really had the opportunity to have that different perspective sometimes, because like I was just always around assholes, man. So just so you know, a nature of an asshole, right? They're gonna be competitive somehow, right? You ever thought of that? Like that? Yeah. So like coming up in Dykeman, you know what I mean? Obviously to where we at here, that shit is crazy. That is refreshing. Well, I do get that when I do create, like when I'm in that zone, like here, you know what I'm saying, or like making music. Yeah, that'll take me like
Yeah,
away from
it's
that.
a different world.
From that world, yeah.
So also, let me ask you, and be honest. Like, be honest to the bones, right? So before you actually started playing fighting games or video games, what was your perspective on it and people that played?
I mean, I'm telling you, I didn't even know it existed. Like,
Not necessarily just competitive. I mean, in general.
General, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I know people that, most guys played video games, right? Like sports games, you know, any type of beat 'em up stuff like that, you know, just in general. But then, you know, I'll meet people that women, a lot of women, they didn't play like that. They don't play. You know what I mean? So if I say like, oh, what did you do last night? Oh yeah, we was playing Marvel from like 8 to like 3. They'll say you was over there playing video games for that many hours, and I'm like, yeah, like we're not playing, we're competing. You know, right? Like it's a difference. It's not like, you know, the same lackadaisical thing over and over. Like, you know, no, every match is like it's like a whole new experience. You know what I mean? So like, what was your perspective on people that play video games, playing video games, just in general?
Honestly, as a person, I feel like I've always been really open-minded to things.
Okay.
But granted, my generation is as well. I don't want to make you guys sound old, but
look, I'm old. I'm 30, I'm 39, baby.
35.
I
baby.
embrace it.
Blessed.
Yeah,
I embrace it. I'm an OG.
Had to throw it out there.
Go ahead. We dusty. Cool.
I feel like gaming was just like it was way more acceptable in my generation when we were growing up. Like my brother played games. Like it was when I grew up. So we did have a PlayStation. We had a Nintendo 64. No, I think we started with the Super Nintendo. Then there was a Nintendo 64, and then we had a PlayStation 2. So those were the consoles I had growing up, but I wasn't really allowed to play them because it's like my brother's console. So like I'd watch him play. Like I played Final Fantasy X. You know, I think that was the first video game that I played ever.
Okay.
So it was like it was never something like, oh, you guys game, you guys do this for a living, you guys compete a lot. I thought when I found out about the competitive stuff, that shit blew my mind because I love competing. So just doing something like that, I thought it was so cool. And then the fact that you guys had a community around it, because I feel like I really love team sports. Like I was on the basketball team. Football is my shit though. And my favorite movie is Remember the Titans from Disney, you know. But I like the camaraderie. I love it how it's just like, you know, you just lift each other up and then like you guys just win as a team. I always thought that was cool. So it's different in the FGC because obviously you're playing for yourself, but like you got all your homies with you. That's why I was always big on like Wednesday night fights versus next level, because that's what I felt it was. It's like you're cheering for your homies from the West Coast.
Right.
We did. You guys got smoked.
Damn.
In Street Fighter 4, Wednesday night fights. Granted, East Coast smoked us in bar fights.
But that was the OGs though.
That was the OGs. The new blood couldn't hold it down.
Okay.
No, but yeah, that's just what I really enjoy about competitiveness.
So would you say obviously your perspective changed. Did it change to the point where it made you feel good about explaining to other people like about competitive gaming, to the point where like you know, hey, like this is a real thing, like respect it, you know what I mean, like this is something that should be taken serious, you know what I mean, like so like maybe like your friends that don't play so that they can get a better understanding, or do you feel like they're just unreachable? I got friends that are unreachable.
Oh yeah. So I definitely have friends that are unreachable, but I definitely do have a lot of friends that like are very intrigued, especially I'd say like not my mom's side of the family, but my dad's side of the family, right? They're just like, video games, competitive, like Street Fighter, how is that a thing?
Right.
Everyone, like Street Fighter is a very easy game to break down. Obviously, there's a lot of technical stuff that goes behind it, but when you're explaining it to people, you don't have to go into the technical stuff, right?
Right.
It's like, it's funny because, so I do car shows and stuff, right? There was this car show that I went to where we held Beat a Pro. I was the pro. So all they had to do was beat me in one game to win a set of wheels. One game of Street Fighter 4.
One game to win?
Actually, no, Street Fighter 5. Yeah, one game of Street Fighter 5.
To get a set of wheels?
Yeah, to get a set of wheels.
Like rubber?
Yeah.
No rims?
No. So wheels is actually the metal part. People say rims and wheels. It's actually a wheel.
Yeah. Not the tire, the wheel.
The wheel.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I know that.
So
Just learned something today.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No one could beat me.
Nobody beat you?
Well, that's because these aren't
There
like
was no
gamers,
ringers?
right? These
Yeah.
are those quote unquote OGs that played ST and whatnot. So I'm over here playing Akali. All these old heads are choosing Ryu and Ken, and they're like, "What is this character?" Like I was size mowing. They were doing fireballs. I was like size mowing through it. They would try to jump IDP, and they're just like, if this was ST, I'd beat you in it. I was like, yeah, sure, bruh. Like,
Cut the crap. Cut the crap, old man. Welcome to the real world.
No, but so it's just like after events like that, there's a lot of curious people that would be like, so explain to us, like, what is Street Fighter, like, how is it that you got so good at it? And I would just start explaining things. It's so much more than the game. Like, you can think of chess, but it's chess with execution. Yeah. And not only that is there execution, there's like quick decision making, right? Mm-hmm. Because in chess you can take your sweet time, you can map it out in your mind like pool, right? Mm-hmm. But in Street Fighter, it's getting accustomed to a situation, making the right decision within a split second, and being able to execute it. So I was just like, it's chess on such an advanced level. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I explain it to people. And then, if they want technical details, I'll go into a little bit with them.
So I want to commend you for this, what I'm about to say. So, I mean, y'all know me. I really love the diversity that the FGC brings, right? From all across the world, And in the fact, for you, Sherry, for you to be actually helping people, to get their visas and stuff like that, to actually come out and enjoy fighting games, which is pretty sick. I think your program is called the E-Travel Pass, I believe. Mm-hmm.
Well, E-FIGHT is the visa one. E-Travel Pass is the travel.
Like, so it's two different ones.
There's two different ones, yeah.
Oh, no, but have the floor. I really want you to talk about it. Yeah. Please put us on.
No, so E-Travel Pass is my recent project, right? I thought about it over the pandemic when Combo Breaker sold out of hotels, right? I was mad bored. I was like, how do I get my travel agent license? It's pretty quick. I just went online, got my license, and I'm part of this travel agency. So I was just like, all these tournaments are selling out. Combo Breaker CEO. So it'd be nice if I could find deals for the community to like book hotels, because obviously tournaments can't always provide hotels at a good rate. So I came up with the idea, made a website for it, and I was just like, because E-FIGHT Pass is originally the visa program, right? Mm-hmm. It's built like a charity, but I can't claim it as a charity. Like, I've talked to multiple lawyers and stuff. I wanted to make a nonprofit so people can donate and I don't have to worry about taxes and whatnot. But after talking to lawyers, they said it's a weird space because it's gaming. Like,
right.
Government doesn't care about gaming stuff.
Okay, sorry.
Mm-hmm. No worries. So there's like this is too niche for it to become a charity, so you're just gonna have to open it as a business. So there's the taxes I gotta pay for it. Anything that gets donated, I either take the tax from it or I write it off as an expense. Like, they're working with me for marketing and whatnot. So I was like, I gotta find a way to kind of fund this thing besides my day job. So that's when I came up with E-Travel Pass.
But I mean, listen, you did a service, man. You bring a lot of people, out here that never really had an experience to play fighting games in a live event and stuff. You're doing a great thing, Sherry. I'm gonna tell you that was fire. I was like, wow, look at her taking initiative.
So that was the travel pass.
So the travel pass to the hotels and whatnot, like the advice. E-FIGHT Pass is where that's the visas where I help players. Like, I don't have special. So I feel like there's this misconception where they think like I got like special ties to the government and I'm getting these visas for everybody. That's not the case. The case is just, coming from other countries, people don't have access to information that we do, whether it be internet or just resources. So the whole point of the program is I help you guys pay for your visa fee, which is $160 non-refundable, which is what really sucks for these people because it's a true 50-50. It literally depends on the person interviewing you and how they're feeling that day. Like, if they're in a good mood, they can just say yes and you'll get it.
Right.
If they're in a bad mood, they're just gonna say no. Doesn't matter what you say, and that's it. You lose $160. So the whole point of the program was to help players from other countries, pay for their visa fees, but also help them with the information on like. I either walk them through it, like, oh, here's the application, these are the links. I'm here if you have any questions, this is the information that you need. Or my website in itself, you can just go to it and it tells you like what information you need, how to apply and whatnot. And I'm just there if you guys want to slide into DMs and ask me questions like, where do I apply? Like, I get that question a lot.
Yeah, like stuff like that is really helpful.
It really is. No, it really is. People be clueless, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty dope that you're lending your services for stuff like that, man. That's pretty fire. Congratulations, Sherry. I'm very proud of you. That was fire.
So talk about some other stuff that you've done in FGC, not necessarily with like just direct playing, but like, you know, organizations, groups, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess IFCYipeS is like the biggest thing that I've done that's like official. I don't even know, like, unofficially, I don't know. I feel like I'm just there to help out a lot of people come out to the West Coast. You know, we have like SFL out there and whatnot. I feel like I always try to be a good host. I think I remember this one time. This is a story that I've told before. Not a lot of people have heard it. So back in the days, I wasn't working. I was just strictly sponsored. So all I was getting was $1,000 a month, which is like, you know, it sounds like a lot to some people. It's not much when you got a car, you got living expenses and whatnot. $1,000 is nothing. And I'm like traveling to all these tournaments. So there's actually a tournament out here. Yeah. I was going to a Big E tournament. I think this was 2016 or 2015 because I didn't have a job yet. I had just graduated school. I said I was going to take a year break, travel, compete, and then get a job when I need to. And this is basically that point because I was broke. Like, all I had on my card left was like $9, right? So I had a flight back from Philly with a stop in Phoenix. And I was like, okay, all I got to do is make it back to LA and I can buy like 6 tacos with $9 and I'm good.
Oh, I respect that. We just needed full substance. We needed rations.
Yeah, like I just got to make it to California and I'm good because $9 can get me something, right? Because I didn't have enough time. I was late. I was just like, $9 definitely can't get me anything at the airport. So I was just like, I just got to hold it out. I didn't eat anything all day. So, of course, my flight gets delayed.
Oh.
So I land in Phoenix. My second half already dipped, and that was the last flight of the night. And I was like, yo, I'm stuck in Phoenix. And I was like, yo, I haven't eaten. Everything's closed because it's late night except for this one cafe. So I walk over to this cafe, and I'm like looking around. I like pick up sandwich, one of those like stale, old-looking like turkey and cheese sandwiches, pre-packed. And then that shit said $10.75.
Oh, she was short.
Yeah, I like put it back down, and I'm just like, I was like, maybe I can like get some fruits or something. But there was this guy next to me. I guess he had seen what I did, and then he was like, oh, I'll get anything she's getting too. And I was like, no, you don't have to do that. He's like, get it. And I was like, okay. So I grabbed the sandwich, and he's like, grab a drink too. And I grabbed the water. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And you know, he paid for it, and I was like tearing up a little, you know. I was like, damn, a stranger helped me out. Like, I really appreciate that. So something that I do, because, you know, obviously I'm in a better financial situation now. I know that my experience isn't something that's like special to me. I know a lot of people, they sacrifice a lot to get out to these events. So one thing that I do is I usually go out and buy Popeyes and I bring it to the tournament. Like, NCR is a big thing. Like, I always did at NCR where I'm buying like 75 pieces of chicken and bringing it with me to the venue. And just making sure that like people can just eat, because people go out throughout the whole day without eating. You know, tournaments aren't cheap. That shit is expensive.
Yeah.
Yo, Popeyes. Yo, listen, let me tell you something. This girl right here, she really like y'all shit, man.
Spicy chicken.
Specifically. Yo, shout out to Shay. Listen, she told me about a hidden menu I didn't even know about. This when I was doing keto. She was like, yo, you could get black and ranch tenders. I was like,
the black and tenders.
Black and tenders, right? Yeah, black and tenders, excuse me. I was just like, what you mean? I was like, yeah, there's just no, you know what I mean? No, it's not fried or nothing. Like none of the flakes on it. No breading, yeah. I was like, okay. But yo, Popeyes, y'all need a spokesperson, man. Sherry Jenix, man. Hit the line.
But yeah, it's just, you know, it's just these little things here and there. I feel like it doesn't seem like much, but it helps the community.
Yeah, no, a little bit goes a long way.
Yes, it does, man.
You know what I mean? And it is appreciated. That's great. So let's talk about your perspective from when you started, because you're a seasoned vet. The amount of women that game then compared to now.
I actually think especially in the US, there's definitely more women competing now, which is like a great thing to see. There had to have been like less than 5. Actually, Ladies of Evo in 2010, it's funny because this is like a controversial subject where everybody's like, nah, we don't want all women tournaments and whatnot, right? Ladies of Evo in 2010 actually brought out like 45 women. In Street Fighter 4, like,
that is true.
That was a lot.
That was
a lot. And to me, it doesn't matter if they were like super serious about competing or anything. It was just the fact that like you could bring out these numbers. And I think it's facts that like we do feel more comfortable starting off, you know, with, I don't want to say like similar people, but like people that are in our group. Like, I started with Ladies of AI.
Yeah, people that they can probably relate to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because for the most part, not to cut you off, like men, we game our whole lives, right? So maybe there's some women that are a little intimidated to get in a big tournament because they think they don't stand a chance yet, but they actually want to play,
Exactly. Like, I think it took a lot for me to just keep going 0-2 all those times, but I started with an all-women's tournament. Like, Ladies of AI was literally all women's.
And I feel like you had a good push with your mentors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, they definitely got you in there because maybe you never, even if you started playing, maybe you never get in there on your own.
Exactly.
Because when you told the story about how you put your quarter up, but you
I was like, nah. Yeah, so I'm very happy because I feel like social media is blown up. There's more contact, there's more access to people. I just feel like the community has always been supportive. Mm-hmm. Obviously not 100% of the community, but majority of the community, even whoever shows up, they've always been really supportive. So I think it makes women feel more comfortable, and as time progressed, like there's a lot of support for women now. And I definitely see more women competitors. Mm-hmm. Not even just competitors, like commentators, TOs, all that.
So, like, my position, I feel like I don't think that's a bad idea to have, like, all women events in addition, not as a replacement, in addition to the regular events, because, you look at tournaments and other things, you have, like, 30 and over basketball tournaments, 40 and over, you have senior citizen events, you know what I mean? So, I think maybe having that would encourage more women to at least, get their foot in the door if they might be a little intimidated or anything like that. You know what I mean? Because it's great to see our genre be more interracial. You know what I mean? Because not racial, gender. You know what I mean. You get the point. Because like from the outside, like a lot of my hood friends, they be like, oh, they were like, oh, y'all be in there, ain't no girls in there, it's nothing but sausage fest and this and that. I'm like, nah, there's women that game is obviously it's not as popular, but women are into it too. You know what I mean? So it's good to have that as representation also, so it doesn't look like it's just a masculine dominated thing. I know definitely with other games like computer games and stuff like that, there are tons of women that game in those. I know a whole bunch of women and they dead nice.
Oh yeah, I know killers, man. Look, remember the name came. Obviously I come from an Unreal tournament, and that's why I'm known for being IFC, because that was a clan. I don't know if you ever knew that, but we had mad shorties in there that was nice. Mm-hmm. Smoking me in one-on-ones, stuff like that. And I was a beast in that game. I mean, shout outs to, let me see. I don't know if you ever watched this footage, but shout outs to IFC Lindy. No, Lindy or Linda. I think it's one of the two. I forgot. Killer. But just to touch up on your point, man, I've seen killers everywhere, you know what I'm saying, that's like more comfortable in that type of space, you know what I mean, in that fighting game. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So I mean, in my opinion, Sherry, you're definitely one of the strongest. When I think about strong women at game, like you're probably one of the first people to come to mind. Other than these two OGs, I can't remember their names. They were sisters from Hawaii. They played Marvel 2.
Oh, that's
I can't remember their names. Please forgive me.
That's Lena. Damn, I keep forgetting her sister's name.
But they were good. Like they were good. Yeah.
I first met them for the first time at season beatings.
God,
they were actually good back then. Like you had to play them for real. You know what I mean? So other than them, like you're one of the people that come to mind. Is there anybody that you wanted to challenge to a money match or anything like that you had a little rivalry with, that maybe you've been losing to or you wanted to get some revenge on? Let me hit a salty story.
You mean like overall? Like,
oh yeah, overall. Like who gave you some bust ass that like you feel like you might be able to fuck with them right now?
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a hard one because, to be quite honest, I've been getting smoked in Street Fighter 5. And I actually think right now is like, obviously it makes sense because it's later in the game, but I feel like I am the strongest I have ever been within the era of Street Fighter 5. Mm-hmm. So,
like who'd you lose to a tournament? It just didn't sit right with you. Like a sour taste in your mouth.
It's not a sour taste, but I wouldn't mind playing Rob TV.
Because
you know why? Because
I
actually had to play him 2 times in tournament, and it always was extra close.
Really?
And I would just choke it up.
So he beat you both times? He
did beat me both times.
Ooh.
Like it was at Elite inside the house, and then we had to run it back in Street Fighter League finals.
Y'all hear that? That sounds like a first of 10. Ooh. That sounds like a first of 10. Sherry Jenix versus Rob
TV.
See it? I want to see it.
Want to see it?
Yeah.
Want to see it?
Yeah.
All right.
It'd be pretty fun.
So like,
hold on. I'm gonna instigate. Issue the challenge. Issue the challenge.
Rob Television, Mr. Robert Television, Hollywood Robert Television. If you're out there, which you probably are, I challenge you to a 1st to 10 with pride on the line. I don't know what money on the line, but the first and foremost is the pride on the line.
She don't want your money. She wants your
pride. Yeah, Desmond. With the buckle clink. Yo, you stupid, bro. That was a good way to explain. That was a good story.
Oh man. Okay. I'm just instigating though. You know, I'm just.
Yeah.
That's there's number one. We ain't going through no list.
Yeah. There's no beef. I feel so like someone who has consistently beat me in tournament. I actually just recognized because I had to analyze like my matches is actually Prototype.
That's the Alex player?
That's the Alex player from Vegas. But you know, like, it's not like we talk or something. Like, it's different with Rob because I know Rob. There's a lot of banter there.
Oh yeah.
Like we both came from E League. Like there's a lot. There's history behind that. Definitely no beef, but like, I would love to fuck him up.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Rob TV, do you accept the challenge? Is the question. No, but that's dope though, man. I mean, you always remember your L's.
Yeah.
I remember all of them. I
remember a lot of them.
Every game that I've played, I remember all my L's in tournament. 100%. I respect that.
So what was your toughest loss?
That one's a hard one.
This is random, but I remember when you whooped Moon's ass.
Hold on. I said lost, man. I said lost.
Did I beat Moons?
I said lost.
You did beat Moons.
We'll get to that.
Shit, I don't even remember.
We'll get to the win.
That was NEC. No, I'm literally like thinking about like matches.
I'm trying to think. Like, I think one hard one for me was the Evo that just happened, and maybe because it's just fresh on my mind still. But in losers, I had to play up to snuff. Mirror match. So you know how that goes, right? Mm-hmm. And then much love to up to snuff. Great player. I felt like I had the best game plan going in because I actually played him at Combo Breaker. And despite it being casuals, I was doing pretty well. Like, I was just like, yo, I got the read. I understand everything you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. Like, I was doing good. I don't even remember the score was, but it was, I don't want to say it, but it was kind of a wash. So I was just like, yo, this is who I got to beat in losers after I make it out of pools. And then it's like, because it was one of those things where it's just like I had two notable players. I lost to Nigel in winners. Then I had to play up to stuff in losers, but it was kind of like free after that, like unnotable people for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I just got to get over this hurdle and I'm good for at least 2 more matches. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and up to stuff, I can do it. And it came and he fucked me up. That shit was 2-0, not even close to any round. Like, I just made every wrong read. I'm just like, yo, Nikali's not even that heavy of a mix-up character. I just got scared. I started holding up back. I started jumping. And I was like, why am I doing this? Like, that was not the game plan. And it just made me mad because I was like, it's one of those things where I felt like I was so ready and it just didn't happen. It was just like, I was just watching everything that was happening in front of me.
Damn.
That was sad. I was pretty hurt about that one.
You was getting hit with the knees?
The standing medium kick?
Yeah.
I was getting hit. I was getting counter hit. And I was like, Sherry, stop mashing buttons. And he started command grabbing me. I was like, yo, I am reading wrong. I'm getting hit by everything.
Get mixed.
Yeah, I was getting mixed.
Okay, so on the flip side of that coin, tell me about your best personal win. It don't even have to be in tournament.
I remember one of your historical wins.
What was my historical win?
I remember you beat Combo Fiends only.
That's actually every single time someone asks me about a memorable match.
Yeah.
I think about that match.
Yeah.
Because like, remember I told you.
Wait. I'm sorry. Why you had to say Combo Fiends Oni?
Because it was his Oni.
Why you just didn't say Combo Fiend?
I don't know. He didn't play.
That's true. But at the time he was playing Oni.
Yeah, he was playing Oni.
I just put it for reference.
To me, it sounds like that's his third character or secondary.
No, that was his main character.
That's his main.
Yeah, he's rocking.
Oh, so just say you beat Combo Fiend. Hold that shit, Peter.
That was mad extra, but yeah, hold that shit, Peter. Go ahead.
No, but that's like, remember I was telling you there was a moment in Street Fighter 4 where I was like, yo, I'm kind of godlike. Like, It was confident. I feel like that was the moment where everything switched because obviously Combo Fiend, that's an OG right there.
Combo Fiend's an OG.
He's an OG, much respected.
And he's godlike in every game he touches.
Exactly. And then I beat him. Granted, it was like sloppy. It was like a scramble. But I was like, damn, I really pulled this shit through. And I was like, I got something. I'm onto something.
What do you say? I love Peter.
No, he was good. He was just like, oh, good shit, man, good shit. And it's funny because this is back in the day where, I mean, YouTube comments are still pretty bad, but there's like SRK and Reddit and whatnot, and they were talking so much shit because
she said back in the day, then Reddit.
I mean,
hey, if you consider yourself an OG, then that's your back in the day.
If you said IRC,
no, see,
like the OGs.
Yeah. AIM.
I was on AIM. No, it wasn't even Reddit Street Fighter. It was R Kappa. R Kappa's not as relevant anymore. So it was R Kappa. They were talking all types of crazy shit, and Combo Fiend actually had my back because everybody was like saying, "Oh yeah, Sherry or Combo Fiend threw it to her because she's a girl." Blah 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 blah. And he had my back. He's like, "Nah, she fucked me up fair and square. Like you guys need to stop saying that." And that's when I was like, "Okay, the community's got my back. I'm actually doing pretty good, you know." So that I think that's actually it's historical, but it's actually one of the most memorable wins for me, victories.
Okay.
Then there were like the money matches. In Street Fighter 5, I feel like I really didn't have too many. Except you said I beat Moons. See,
That was that. Look at that.
That.
It was at a Biggie. It was at a Biggie event. I think it was the one after Capcom Cup, the one that Do won. I think so. Mm-hmm. It was a. Damn, you don't remember your own shit, yo?
Street Fighter 5 is a blur to me. I feel like there were so many hard losses to me in Street Fighter 5 that like the wins, I don't feel them. So it's
I got you.
Okay.
She hasn't stood in front of the door yet.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, so like, okay. Reason why I asked you don't remember your matches, well, I mean that already makes sense. It's because like, man, I'm just a big fan of fighting games, man. So I literally remember like all my homies, like, you a homie, you know what I mean? So like, I know there's been times I like go and watch your pool matches when I can and stuff like that. I remember I was in the front row. I'm telling you, I think it was an NEC, man, or a Winner Bro. I think it was NEC because it was the one with Mena and someone else.
I think it was NEC.
Yeah, it was the final. This is when like Mena started like rising, like really like busting ass. So he was already good. But anyway, but I remember watching your match front row, against Moons, and you won. You remember that?
No.
Damn, son.
Okay, so let me ask you this, right? I always ask Street Fighter players, and I love hearing the answers, right? Street Fighter 4 versus Street Fighter 5. What's your take?
Come on, son. Damn.
I gotta hear from her too.
Go ahead.
I mean, they're just very different games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I obviously love Street Fighter 4 because that's where I started, and I played a top tier character, so I didn't have to deal with the shit that I'm dealing with now.
Mm-hmm.
But after, like at this current stage of Street Fighter 5, I can definitely appreciate the game.
At this current stage.
At this very last
What
patch,
about the prior stages? Talk to me about season 1.
Season 1 was stupid. Like,
Yeah. Let me get that. Let me get all that.
I mean, granted, this is my transition from Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 5, right? And this is the first time ever I had to transition from one game to another game.
That's true.
And I didn't know, like, I was like, I'm either super stupid. It's funny because this Gutex actually said this to me the first time Street Fighter 5 came out, the beta. I was at PAX or something and I was playing, and he looks at me, and everybody's just playing. This is Nikali, like day 1, season 1. He looks at me and he's just like, "You're a IFCYipeS player," and I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You're never gonna be good in Street Fighter 5 then." I said, "Oh, okay." So then I stuck with Nikali, and I was getting fucked up, and I was like, he might be right. Like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm getting whiff punished. I'm getting crush countered, and I thought crush counter was the dumbest thing. I was like, "You're gonna punish me for doing a DP?" And I was like, "I gotta hold all these mix-ups?"
Yeah.
Like, why is that a thing, Anti-airing with jab, like playing against Chun-Li, that shit was tilting me. I'm just like, yo, why do you have the easiest anti-air into a 50-50?
I'm sorry. Oh my, I can't stand those jab anti-airs, yo.
Yeah, jab anti-airs.
Oh my god.
That shit was cool. Let's go 50-50.
Yo, my man Yipes was like with the Cali. He was like, I'm like, dead ass.
Yeah.
It's a 50.
I'm like, yo, that shit is fucking corny.
And you got
Love
resets.
it.
He walking back and forth. He said, "Oh, I hated that shit."
Yeah, that and like everybody's just mashing jab on wake up. And I was getting counter hit, and everybody's like, "Well, Sherry, you need to time your media right." And I was like, "Why do you guys promote this behavior?" No, it's not that I gotta time my media right. It's just like, why are you dumb enough to keep mashing jab on wake up?
Well, to be fair, Sherry, you know what? Now that I think about it, you ain't really started as a Street Fighter player. You played Viper, so technically that puts you in the anime bracket. You think about it in a style. You think about it. Think about it. Because going into Street Fighter 5, that's different. Now you're on the feet. You don't got jets and shit in your pumps no more.
Yeah.
You don't got no ground pounds.
No technology.
You don't got nothing.
It's true.
Yeah. No, it's true. No, it's true.
It was a huge difference because it's like, in Street Fighter 4, I never thought about how the fuck do I need to get in. I am super jump flame kicking in there, like super jump. Yeah.
Like choke. Choke. You was loving that shit, huh? That shit was fire. I'm not even gonna lie.
And it's like I didn't have to worry about corner pressure because I could deadass just super jump out and do a late flame kick, and I'm on the other side.
Yo,
Like
word.
I was good.
Facts.
Word, like the Shoto's doing the air toxin.
Yeah, the air
They had
toxin
to
out.
dead that shit.
And then you know, like they did that, but they didn't did that for Viper, so I was Gucci. Like,
Yeah.
and I didn't have to worry about teching. I was just mash flame kicking between block screens, because I'm just like, I wish you would try to throw me. You're gonna get hit by this flame kick.
That's true. You was doing that scrubby shit.
I mean, it was cheap.
No, everybody was doing it. No. That shit was godlike.
Yeah, it was good shit. And it's just like then I come to Nikali where I'm like, damn, I gotta hold all of this. Like I gotta mash the EXCP. What if I don't have EX meter? I gotta hold.
Mad slow. Wait, gotta get decked with shit, crush counters, get the V trigger. I relate, trust. I played that, man. But go ahead.
Yeah, like and the fact that he was charged, like playing him for so long to this point where like I'm learning how to understand with punishing more, right? Like buffers. I said I would never play a charge character again. There were so many times where I'm just like, I know he's gonna do this, so I'm gonna do my crouching strong and like it with punishes, but I don't get the slash. I was like, oh, so that's all I get. I just get a crouch strong. Who cares then? You know?
But that sweep led to a lot of shit though.
It did. The sweep was a good setup. You know, you gotta give him something, right? But like playing Street Fighter 5 definitely made me realize like I just feel like I understood the game more. Like picking and choosing when to jump, like causing the other person to do like jumps or mistakes because I had the size. Well, you know, I had to play around with make them with buttons, kind of understand spacing, walking back and forth, because you didn't do that shit with Viper. I had to walk back and forth with Viper. You're either guessing left, right, down, up, instant overheads. It was
Sherry's
great.
an anime player. She's an anime player.
I was.
And then you know what's crazy? Even though you was a big fan of Street Fighter 4, I'm pretty sure you wasn't really watching the other fighting games like that, right?
Except for Marvel.
Exactly. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. I was just about to say that. Bro, I remember.
Hold up. Wait.
Marvel 2.
Okay.
Marvel
okay.
2. Marvel 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got your back.
Okay.
I got your back.
All right. That's what I mean.
I'm gonna tell you an interaction.
See my face? I said.
Yeah, I got you. I already knew, baby. I got you.
Okay. New Age of Heroes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, like this interaction I had with her one time. I'm in
We don't fuck with the fate of two worlds.
I'm
just saying.
Okay, so look, I'm in top 8 Evo 2010. I think I'm playing Justin, right? And I'm like wigging with Storm and stuff. I still lost, but freaking, you know, I was doing some cool shit with Storm. And I just remember Sherry, she's like over like the stage like this. She was like, yo, your Storm's pretty godlike. She straight up looked at me, she's like, yo, your Storm's pretty godlike. I looked, I said, thanks. I lost. You know what I'm saying? Like I lost the first game. I was like, thanks. But that was it. You know what I mean? You remember that shit?
I don't even remember that.
Damn, Jack, come on. Like, these are the memories, girl. You need to have this. This is the beautiful thing about the FGC. I'm glad that you're a part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's love. You know what I'm saying? I always see you as always smiles and love. Some pop-offs if we playing the games. You know what I mean? But you gotta remember these memories, man. We got memories. I'm pretty sure you got some.
I got a lot of memories, yeah. I remember Caesar's Beatings, Good versus Evil.
2011.
That was my favorite exhibition of all time because the concept was godlike. Like all Phoenix players on one end, non-Phoenix players on the other end. I think you bet with me and I took all your money. That's the crazy part.
You put it on the Phoenix?
Did I bet on the Phoenix?
It was either that or...
I did bet on Phoenix.
I don't think he looked like a...
Okay, if you didn't bet on Phoenix, then it was the Chris G versus Punko.
It probably...
No. And then you gave me crazy odds.
Shay. Listen, if I know Chris, he'll put money where it's real overpowered, so he betted on them.
Oh, he did put on Phoenix.
He betted on them, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
I mean, it was really close.
It was, but 100% put money on. Did you bet against Justin?
No.
No. In the actual Good versus Evil.
I follow the 2 rules. No.
What's the 2 rules?
Never bet against Justin. Always bet on Justin. I follow the 2 rules. I respect the rules.
Those are good rules.
Those are great rules.
Yeah.
Great rules, especially sit downs. Like tournaments is like, you know, now obviously like Justin's a freaking professional. Like I'll never doubt him anyway. You know what I mean? But you know, he's been on the fatherly content making side of things. You know what I mean? Keeping business together. So I'm sure he's not practicing specific games. He's playing so many fighting games, including the old ones, right? But no, no, absolutely.
I remember what happened. Like, you know what's crazy is like I tried playing Marvel 3. I just couldn't understand the system, and I didn't take the time to do it because I was playing Street Fighter 4. But I love watching Marvel 3. I call that the golden era of fighting games. Like, it might be different for you OGs over here.
It is one of the goldens though.
But the golden era was definitely Street Fighter 4 and Marvel 3 at the same time.
I'm gonna hit you with the LeBron James.
That is the LeBron James. That is the LeBron James.
Like, because I feel like nowadays you don't really get the same crowd where like you're watching Street Fighter and Marvel, or now it's probably Street Fighter and Guilty. But back in the days, you didn't leave. That when it was Sunday and it was top 8, you didn't lose your spot. You would sit on the floor and you were there for Street Fighter and Marvel. And it was like there were crossovers, like obviously F-Champ and them. Like it was godlike. It was some
That
very
is true.
good times.
You do not leave. You did not leave.
I ain't go front, Chris. Those are some golden ages, bro. Come on, man. Yo, Chris, first of all, you can't look. I know you don't like the game.
No.
Let's be clear.
Let me say this. Now hold on. I will say this. When the game was out, I was playing and I was into it. So I was part of it. I was liking it during that time. I was there for it. I was there. So I'm not I get you. I understand. I was involved.
Just involved, huh?
But nothing else, huh?
I was involved. I was there. I was in it. I was playing.
Oh, you just making sure.
I played.
I knew you was involved.
I gave the game legit shit.
Hold on. Look how he's saying playing, but he's not saying that he like it though. First off, you like that game. Don't stop fronting. Shit got OD and you stop liking the game.
I
accept that. Accept it.
I liked the game.
Liked
the game. Then shit changed. They made some nerfs. I was done. Then Ultimate, what is it? Ultimate?
That's Ultimate.
Yeah, Ultimate came out. I said I'm gonna give it another shot.
You liked it?
It was okay. I found a THC Infinite.
You liked it.
But then that day happened when I went to Yipes' crib and I'm playing Dante and I'm playing Storm. I'm like, yo, I got this new optimal combo. I'm taking like 7 and change. Boom. He said, oh, okay. He asked Spencer. He said, let me show you what real damage is.
I did say
So, bionic art.
Oh, but it's my fault though.
He took a cool mill. Bro, I laughed the fuck out of that combo to take 7 to change. My man said, I got you. Let me give you the extra 3 for no reason. 80K.
But that's my fault?
I mean, you played a part in opening my eyes.
Okay, I'll take that. But don't give me the blame. There was a lot of shit going on. It was a lot of shit occurring with that meta. A lot of shit was happening,
There's a lot
dog.
going on.
And I remember, look, just to give you a little lore. I remember the day he officially dropped Marvel 3, man. I remember that day like it was yesterday, man. Too old, too furious. They announced the tournament. You know what I'm saying? It was Marvel 2. You know, Chris Cole, Wind of his like Marvel 2. You know, Blue Jay, you know what I mean? Rest in peace. He was like, yo, we going. Right? I think Josh 360 was in the car, somebody else or whatever. And while we was in the car, we was just reminiscing on shit Marvel 2. But long story short, we get there. Motherfuckers was playing. And I just seen that itch like rapidly hit Chris Matrix. And he literally that day said, yo, I'm back. I am done with Marvel 3. He said it like that, right? He's like, I am done with this shit.
Yeah, it was over.
I remember that 202 Furious, man. Rest in peace for Chris's love for Marvel 3. But I'm still with y'all, don't worry. I'm still with y'all. I ain't in there, though. Them motherfuckers looking feisty now. Whoa! That Parsec era looking crazy, son. Nah. I ain't dealing with that shit. I can keep up, though.
Hold on. But real shit, I do fuck with those mods. Those MBC3 mods, the Cyclops, the Psylocke.
Oh, yeah.
Those joints is fire. Those mods are ridiculous. They actually make me want to play. I'm not even going to lie. Seeing that I can use some characters that wasn't in the game and all the work they put in, I was like, I want to play. But then I'm saying silly shit. But I do look at them and want to play sometimes. So shout out to that.
Yeah.
I really wish I played Marvel.
You started with IFCYipeS.
2.
3 and 2.
New Age of Heroes or Fate of Two Worlds?
3 and 2. 2 and 3.
Okay.
All right, Sherry, but watching it, which was the best
IFCYipeS
one?
in 3 though.
Wait, hold on.
Don't you dare.
Shh. Wait.
You said which one's the best one?
When you watch them, you're like, damn. Like, which is the one?
But I feel like, because I'm a seasoned vet, Marvel 3 hit me more than Marvel 2.
That's
because
true.
I'm a seasoned vet.
And this is because you missed out on those days, right?
I did. I'm not an OG, so Marvel 2 didn't hit me as hard as Marvel 3.
You know what? That was a great answer. I can't even front on that one. That was a great answer.
Which
I
is,
still watch Marvel 2 though.
Which is better? Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5.
That's a hard one.
Huh.
Because how I would compare it is mid Street Fighter 4 to late Street Fighter 5.
Okay.
Because Elena was a wreck.
Yeah.
Elena was a mistake.
She said Elena was a mistake.
That was crazy, bro. That character's kind of crazy.
Ooh.
I don't know. I might like Street Fighter 5 more.
Yo, see Viper, see? I already knew, yo. I already knew she was gonna dip on you, B.
What? I love Viper. I have come to the conclusion that Capcom will never bring her back. And it's over for me.
I think she's coming back.
She's not coming
I
back.
think Rufus is coming back. I
Rufus
think
is
Viper's
not
coming
coming
back.
Mm-mm.
They coming back.
Nah, don't bring back Rufus. Don't bring back both of them, actually. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, they're not coming back.
I mean, I would love Viper to come back. I don't see how. Actually, she might work in Street Fighter 6. Drive impact and whatnot.
No. If Viper actually comes back, she don't need that drive meter.
That's what makes her godlike. That's what I'm talking about. I want the cheap shit.
So obviously, okay. So talk on this subject real quick. Hold on. So
by all means.
when you watched Marvel 2 and Marvel 3, obviously Marvel 3 was the better game to watch at that time for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But which one looks more difficult to play when you watched it? Does the seasoned vet thing still count in this?
No, I do think Marvel 2 is harder.
Okay.
Good.
As Lee Sanford Kelly said it himself, it's more organic.
Oh, we were schooling them with some history. Look at that. This was before the show started. This was before we went live. Probably maybe some
More organic, raw skill. He said no X Factor, no V trigger. All organic. No GMOs.
GMOs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bullshit. I see you, man. You from the East Coast. They don't do shit like that out in the West. You know what I'm saying? They don't do shit out there. You know what I mean?
That's kind of facts.
Hold on, though. You know where he's from originally, right?
Yo.
Wait, that's crazy.
Yo. Hold on. What is we doing here? Sherry's the guest. What is we doing here? What is we talking about right now?
You're not a New Yorker? Hold up.
What
Wait
are we
a second.
talking about? So Sherry, you talking about you like Street Fighter 5 better than 4, right? Street Fighter.
You don't want to answer?
I didn't hear anything. Street Fighter 5 better than 4,
She told
right?
you she's from Philly.
I am from Philly.
I'm from New York.
You were born here?
What do you mean here? Like in
New
a
York.
den? Like in
You
a
were
studio?
born in one of the boroughs of New York, which is, I believe, Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan. What's the other one?
I can't answer your question if you can't give me the 5 boroughs.
Which one were you born at?
You can't give me the 5 boroughs. I can't answer the question.
What did Papoose say? Queens,
If you can't, I can't give you the answer.
Brooklyn,
Yeah.
Bronx, Manhattan.
Yeah.
What is these? Staten Island. So which part of New York city were you born in?
I actually weren't born per se in any of the 5 boroughs.
So like right outside of New York, like Long Island?
No, not Long Island. Not Long Island. Just
Like more north, like Albany?
no, not north. Just a little west.
A little west.
Yeah, a little
west.
West of New York, a little bit.
West of New York. I need a map. Like west is like, well, so Pennsylvania's a little southwest, and then then there's the Midwest, like Illinois and whatnot. Is it more west than Illinois?
Huh? What's up?
Like, when you say west, is it like a bordering west or like a coast west?
I mean, like, there's no real. We're all the western part of the world.
In the world, yes.
Right. So.
But in regards to the United States of America, there's two coasts. So there's the East Coast and then there's the West Coast, and then there's like the stuff in between. So
Okay.
Are you in a closer radius to the West Coast or the East Coast?
Could you repeat the question? Could you repeat the question?
So there are two coasts in the United States of America. There's the East Coast and there's the West Coast. Within the radius, if you split the United States in half, would you be closer to the West Coast or the East Coast?
Would I be?
Where you were born. The hospital that you came out in.
Oh. Okay. So, per se, I guess you can say, right. I probably was like around there. Mm-hmm. When you split the U.S. in half, I was like around there.
Around there. So like if California was right here, like you're here.
No, yeah.
So California's here, and you were here. Are you a Californian? Are you West Coast?
No, I'm not a Californian. I'm not West Coast. I'm a New Yorker. I'm East Coast.
Yes.
Born and raised.
I was conceived on the East Coast.
But born on the West.
I mean, I took my first breath of fresh air maybe over there.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
This is OD.
It was a county. It was definitely a county around the other side, right? I was out there just visiting.
In the boroughs of Los Angeles.
No, it wasn't Los Angeles. No.
We don't have to continue this.
We don't. I think I get a good idea of
we don't have to.
Where Chris Matrix is from. That's not New York.
I'm from New York. From New York, Bronx.
York. Hey, no. That's no. Hey, jokes. You sure you want to shake my hand?
What's up?
New York.
Yeah.
New York raised, baby.
Yeah. Don't give a fuck what my birth certificate says. Don't matter, dog.
You're on the BX.
BX.
There's not a splash of hella in you.
Yeah, just take away
Hella.
2 weeks of my life,
Hella.
and I wasn't in New York, but
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Anyway, where we left off at? So you like Street Fighter 5 more than Street Fighter 4? Mm-hmm. Okay. And this is based because I think more so for you. Maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong, but like you've grown more as a fighting game player, and not only that, you understand fighting games more. So when you see 4 to 5, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it just sticks more to you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I feel like I learned a lot from 5. Like I had to learn a lot of self-restraint.
Yeah.
Playing the Cali. That's
Playing the Kali. It was a lot of self-restraint, and there's a lot of like understanding when people want to jump, when people want to do things, when people want to DP and whatnot. I didn't have to worry about that. In Street Fighter 4, if I knocked you down, I just do a safe flame kick. Then it's up to you to block, and your DP wouldn't work. So that literally took out all of your options.
She was cheap.
She was cheap. I
I'm
didn't
telling
have
you,
to.
you're an anime player.
Yeah.
So how did you feel about getting robbed in Street Fighter 5? Because that seems to be the undertone when I speak to everybody.
I took it as penance for my sins in Street Fighter 4.
Good answer.
I respect that.
Good answer.
I respect the shit out of that. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
I was
Good
like,
answer.
okay, I've been fooling around, messing around for 6 years in Street Fighter 4. Eventually I got to learn the game.
I respect that.
I do. I actually do. All right. So we're gonna get away from gaming, and we're gonna talk about one of your extracurriculars?
One of them, because I got many.
Okay. Name a few.
Okay. So the one thing that most people know about that I like went back to heavily during the pandemic was cars. That's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I got really into cycling.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, I just, everything else, I kind of dabble in. But those two, I would say, are my two other main extracurriculars.
Okay, so I wanna talk about cars. I want to talk about the cars.
I'm out of this conversation. I don't know shit about cars.
Oh no, she's gonna educate.
You guys live in New York.
She's gonna educate.
I can educate you guys like how I educate people in Street Fighter. Layman terms.
Yeah. So, okay. You're a racer.
Not professional. I dabble in it.
Okay, but you still race against the clock. You still you know you try to get your PBs, personal best, and everything.
That's right. Okay, we got some terms.
So, talk about what kind of racing you do, the different types, and like what's needed to be an orgo. So we started talking about it on the way here. So you talked about drag. We talked about. Did you call it time attack? Time attack, and what was the third one? Drifting. So actually during the pandemic, I actually finally binge watched all the Fast and Furious movies. I had never seen them prior to that, so I binge watched those, and I've been like having a little monkey for racing and everything like that. Like that's not my field. I don't really know too much about it. I just know from the movies and what I'm learning from Sherry now. So talk about the three.
Okay, so it's kind of like fighting games where there's like different genres, right? There's Street Fighter, then there's Marvel, then there's anime and all that. But fundamentally, it all revolves around a car going fast. So everyone knows drifting, right?
Tokyo Drift.
Make that car go sideways. Take that turn at like going sideways, and then you make it out. Wheels spinning, smoke everywhere, and whatnot. Drag racing. Going as fast as you can in a straight line. Trying to hit your top speed, max out. Time attack, also known as time trials, is going around a course trying to get your best time. And having when you're in a race, it's not about your position. There's some races like F1 that care about your position, but when they do qualifiers, it's time trials. So it's whoever gets the fastest lap becomes the winner. Or your podium, which is top 3. So that's what I do. Okay.
I never really paid attention to that when I'm seeing races and everything like that. It's not about your position, it's about your time.
Some of them are.
A lot of stuff I learned from racing was from Gran Turismo 1.
Gran Turismo's legit.
That's what I learned my racing. Virtual streets.
So you do time attack. Now, what's necessary in your car to be good at time? What skills are necessary to be good at time attack versus drag?
All right, so drag is pretty common in the U.S., especially in the Midwest, where you just go in a straight line. And in drag, the hardest thing to learn is how to control your car with all that power in a straight way. Because when you have all this power, your car starts to wiggle a little bit, right? And you kind of learn how to control it going in a straight line. Because you want control at all times. You don't want your car to kind of wiggle around because you're wasting time. You want the fastest time. So when you do drag, it's usually head to head, like 2 cars going this way. And it's whoever gets the fastest time technically. But obviously, if you're both launching at the same time, the person who hits the finish line first will have the faster time.
Right.
So that is how drag goes. And they're usually like American muscle cars. Obviously, you can do it to Japanese cars, but majority of the time, they're American cars. American muscle.
Dominic Toretto.
Indeed. And then when it comes to time attack, it's about like understanding the course, understanding the turns that are coming up, how fast you can take it, and learning how to rotate your car appropriately. So there are straightaways where you just gun it, but when you see that turn is coming, you need to understand how hard to brake, how early or how late to brake, and how to get your car to rotate around the turn as fast as possible without obviously losing the traction.
Control. Right. So then basically what you're saying is like, a powerful engine is not like, super important when it comes to time attack. It's more about balance.
Yeah.
Okay, because you need to be able to hit those turns, accelerate fast.
Yo, not for nothing, drifting is cool as hell, bro.
Yes.
Yo, what's up with that? What's that scene? Was it in Tokyo Drift? Where like they going up like the parking lot joint, they going in.
That's Tokyo Drift.
That's Tokyo Drift.
They racing in a freaking parking lot, bro. Them turns is straight hairpins.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
It's godlike.
Medium hard pin left.
Very long, easy right. Hairpin left.
Hairpin left.
It's like a rally.
No, like drifting is obviously very easy for like a spectator to watch.
Yes.
I feel like time attack is extra boring to watch because it's not like these cars are losing control. You're literally watching. It's like watching NASCAR. You're just watching the car go around.
But it's dope though. It's like you're competing with yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for the driver, it's like, okay, I don't want to offend baseball fans. I hate watching baseball because I think it's mad boring. But when you play baseball, it's really fun. Like if you're in the game, it's really fun.
That's a fact.
So to me, that's what time attack is. It's because it's like each lap is about what? It could go from 1.5 minutes to 2.5 minutes, and like it's just you battling yourself inside. But when as a spectator, all you see is like cars going around the track. It doesn't really mean anything to you. F1 is really fun to watch because the positions matter. So like you can cheer for someone. Like, oh, this underdog is in 6th place. I see him bumping up places. He's about to take over first. So people get excited for that. Same thing with drifting.
Well, let me ask you a quick question about that, right? So I really don't understand. When with races like that, people are not starting at in the same position. So doesn't someone have an advantage?
Yeah. So when those races happen, they're called head-to-head races. Their positions are determined by their time trials.
Okay, got it.
So like the way that F1 is just like every car gets the whole track to themselves, right? And then whoever gets the fastest time, you get ranked. So the fastest obviously starts at first. So you want to do really well on the qualifiers, so you get position advantage when it comes to head-to-head like races. So, but it's kind of like when you do like, have you ever ran a marathon before?
Yeah.
So you know how like the earlier it is, the first group that goes is the fastest people. And then the noobs, because I did a half marathon, like I'd never done one before, so we're the very last group to start running. But that's to prevent traffic from happening, because you don't want the slow people in the beginning. So that's why they do head-to-head.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So now, talk to me about the skills needed for time attack versus drifting.
It's actually very similar.
Okay.
So like I feel like someone who does drifting will do really well in time attack. Obviously there's like very subtle differences, but with drifting you're more focused on getting the car to spin, right? So there's certain tactics, like if you look inside a drifter's car, he has a handbrake that he pulls, and when you pull it, it causes the wheels to lock up, and that's how you get that rotation to spin out. And then so you go in hot for a turn, you take the turn really hot, and then you spin out, and like you make it out, and you do your S's and whatnot. So when it comes to like time attack, the professionals, they might have something similar, like in rally cars where they pull the e-brake, but ours, we don't really want our car to spin. So it's two different types of control, but both of them require control. You're just operating differently on how you want the vehicle to move.
Yeah. I'm open. I'm
open.
So drifting seems like it might have wear and tear on the tires.
Oh yeah. When you're a drifter, you don't run expensive tires. When you're a time attack driver, you run expensive tires. Because drifting, they literally, when you go to drift shows, they give out tires as like gifts. Because you can probably do one run with it and then the tire's done. And you just give them out to the fans.
I see.
Yeah, but time attack, you get that expensive shit because you want as much grip as possible. Whereas drifting, you don't want too much grip. You want the easy slide.
Is the time attack usually you can keep the same tire? There's always a change.
Well, so if you're competing, you usually get multiple sets of tires because you're running the tires down so fast, you want extra tires. But it's not the same as sliding, because obviously when you're sliding, you're shredding the tire. So wheels pop, wheels go off on drift cars all the time. Time attack cars, not so much.
You ever thought about, maybe you have done this before, obviously I'm sure, like races in different terrains. So have you done like the valleys, the dirt joints?
I haven't done the off-road stuff. I want to do it though. It looks really fun. It's just my car is not built for that.
Okay.
So, because when you do off-road, there's like a lot of rocks and whatnot, right? You kind of want a car that has like suspension that lets you bounce a lot, and then clearance to clear the rocks when you're making it. But when you're driving on a road, you want very low to the ground and very sticky tires, because you want full traction, and you want your center of mass to be as low and grounded as possible, just with handling skills.
Okay.
So it changes.
All right. So now, talk to us about the different modes of drive in terms of front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, and all wheel drive, and the benefits.
Okay. This kind of getting a little technical. If you want to see the benefits to it, so let me give a very basic difference in all three.
You can get technical. We can get it. We can look it up.
Some people don't know what those drives are, right? So front wheel drive is when you're driving the car and you step on the gas, right? Front wheel drive is your first two front tires spinning with all the power. If it's rear wheel drive, it's a rear two wheels spinning with all the power, and then your front is neutral. In front wheel drive, your rear is neutral. All wheel drive is all four of your tires spinning with power. So it's evenly distributed power. So there's advantage, there's pros and cons to everything. The best thing about front wheel drive is it's the easiest to drive.
Okay.
Because it's easy to control the car majority of the time. The only thing you have to be concerned about is this thing called understeer. So understeer is a thing where when you turn really fast, your car is not turning, because you're going so fast. Your car is still going straight, even though you did the turn. So that's how a lot of people get scared, and you don't want that because you want the rotation in the car.
Okay.
So you battle that by having more grip in the front, fatter tires in the front, and aerodynamics to keep the tires full contact in the front to get as much traction as possible to reduce understeer. Right? But it's easier to drive. It's easier to drive in terms of you don't have to worry about spinning out too much. Now, spinning out is obviously when your car loses control and you're drifting, right? You don't really drift in a front wheel drive.
Okay.
You drift in a rear wheel drive or all wheel drive. And this is because when there's power coming from the back of the car, you're stepping on the gas into a turn, your back kind of slides out a bit because there's so much power going through the wheels. It loses a little bit of traction. But you want that rotation in the car. So when it comes to real race cars and really fast times, everyone runs rear wheel drive or all wheel drive. Not a lot of people do front wheel drive, but there are front wheel drive competitions. All Hondas, except for one model, are all front wheel drive cars. But drift cars are always rear wheel drive.
I did not know none of this shit, by the way.
Drift cars are all rear wheel drive. Now,
some of them are all wheel, but majority are rear wheel.
Is yours all wheel drive?
Mine is front wheel. Hondas.
Okay.
Do they make hybrid cars where you can choose whether you want front wheel or rear wheel?
No, because that changes the axle.
Okay.
So the axle is basically from your engine, it's how the power gets distributed to the wheels. So if you have a front, because most engines are in the front, right? So your axle is actually in the front of the car, really, really close to the engine. So there's this thing called power distribution of the engine. So because it's a shorter distance from the engine to the axle, you actually get a lot more power. You don't lose as much power to the front wheels.
Oh!
You see me, right? Oh, she know her shit. Oh! I'm getting hyped.
But yeah, so when you have a rear wheel drive car and you have a front mounted engine, it's a longer time for the power to get to the axle to spin. So there's more power loss percentage-wise.
Is the axle pretty much in basic form? Is that the skeleton of the car, the bottom?
It's part. Okay, it's not part. The skeleton is the frame, right? The axle is just that thing. Think about it like a hot car. You know how you pull the car back and you let it go, and you see that little the wheels here and the other. This is the axle that's spinning with all the power. So that's the axle.
Pow, 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 wheels. Like that. Basic stuff for me. It's for me.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So, what brands of cars do you think are better for each genre? What brands of cars are best for drag, time attack, and then drifting?
Okay, so
I want to know.
So for drifting, there's a reason why Nissan 240s are incredibly cheap, but that's the starter drift car, right?
Okay.
And it's funny, no car coming out of the factory is meant to be a drift car. They don't build cars to be oh, I want you to go sideways. So it was actually a terrible design that Nissan made on the 240, because was so difficult the way that the body was built for it to go in a straight line. Like it went sideways all the time. Like it would lose traction all the time.
What a mistake.
So then everybody was just like, then drifting became a thing. Like Japan was just like, oh, we're gonna go through the mountains. Oh, we can drift like togeing through the mountains now. Like that's what made the Nissan 240 so popular. That's why they're like the prime drift car. Obviously, there's other cars that you can drift, but Nissans were so easy to drift back then. Every beginner starts with the Nissan 240.
Damn, I want to go watch Tokyo Drift again now.
Yeah.
I want to play some video games.
I don't think Tokyo Drift had a 240 in it actually, but all the cars in Tokyo Drift were rear-wheel drive, like the 350. And whatever American car that he was drifting in, I don't remember.
Dom drives a Charger, right? Because at the end he was like, who
Rear-wheel
said
drive.
American muscle can't drift?
And it really should not be. That shit don't drift, right? Like that at all.
It can, like, actually, like American cars are fine with drifting. There's actually like a famous drifter. So there's like Falcon Tires, which is like a big tire sponsor. There's I forgot his name, but he's one of like the best drifters out there. He drives a Ford Mustang.
Oh damn. Okay. I thought it was all gimmick. I thought this was just like a character power up. They could just wild out.
Nah, as long as you have a lot of power and as long as you got a rear-wheel drive car, you can drift that bitch.
Okay, so tell me this, Sherry. Look, so one of my cars, like if I ever like get a car, which I think I will, probably I'll be dusty at the time, but I would love a Camaro.
Yeah,
That's American Muscle?
that's American Muscle.
That is American Muscle. Okay, I always pick that car. It looks so cool, be in Gran Turismo and all them joints.
Americans love American cars.
Yeah.
They got a lot of power.
That's your shit too?
That's not my shit, but it's not. Actually, the Corvette is my shit, but that's
She
just
said,
like
that's not my
That's just for flavor.
the Corvette.
Yeah, that's just for flavor, like for
Like the Corvette was actually built as an incredibly like designed car. So American Muscle is mainly like kind of the boxy design, like Challenger, Camaros, Chargers and stuff. They're kind of boxy. So they're not really like aerodynamically great.
They brolic.
Or ballot. Yeah, they're
They
brolic.
brolic.
They're brolic
They
cars.
brolic.
So they got fat engines, a lot of power, rear-wheel drive, and they're just like bulky cars. So they're not really balanced to do turns like that. But if you look at the Corvette, it's low to the ground. It's slim. It's not a boxy car. So
That's true.
Corvettes are actually incredibly fast on the track, just from the factory. And they're not that expensive. They're like, you can get one for like 70 grand.
American Muscle. Oh, what a breakdown. Okay, so Corvette is like the more agile of all of them.
Yeah.
Nice.
There was a Dodge Viper also, but that was back in the day. They don't make those anymore.
Dodge Vipers, yeah. Okay. So, for Time Attack, what are the best cars in your opinion?
Okay. So
That's your field right there. That's what you do.
that is my field. There's a lot. Like in this current modern stage, like if you want to talk about broken characters, right? OP characters would be the Toyota Supra.
That's top tier.
Okay.
That's top tier.
That's top tier.
That's
Okay.
top tier.
He said
Like-
that top tier.
like it's so good that so we have different classes, right? So the classes are dependent on how many modifications your car has. So there's an enthusiast class, which is like the beginners. It's like, oh, you didn't do too much to your car, like a little mod here and there. You're part of that. Then there's street class, which is like, I mean, they don't really enforce the rules that much, but street cars, they're supposed to be street legal. None of them are street legal. Like they're like gutted inside and whatnot. Supras are so fast out the factory, they're not allowed to be part of the enthusiast class. They have to start in the street class.
I see. You gotta earn your stripes.
Yeah. So that's the Toyota Supra. Great. It's a rear-wheel drive car. It's actually designed by BMW. It has a BMW engine in it. There's like a collaboration between Toyota and BMW. Like the Z4.
I did not know that.
There's random collaborations like Subaru and Toyota. They just came out with the, people make fun of Corollas, right? Corollas are just like, damn, you drive a Corolla?
Well, here in New York, we make fun of Corollas. There's a lot of cops right around those.
They rock Corollas out here?
Yeah. What is it? No, it's
It might be a Corolla. I saw one earlier. I think.
Like as a personal car?
No, like a
the
cop
DTs,
car.
the DTs.
No, I think they drive Fords.
No, but there's another one though that they used to. It was back in the day. I swear. We always see it at TNT Tuesdays and Thursdays for the hood out there. I know that.
Like, so Toyota actually is revamping their like race line again. So that's why obviously they came out with the Supra. Because for a very long time, Toyotas were like a family car, right? Like back in the day, they used to have a racing division, which was the A86, the FRS is what they call it now, or the BRZ. And that ended. Like they moved to the Corollas, they moved to the Camrys, like family SUVs and whatnot. But they decided to bring it back with the current Corolla as a hatchback. They made it GR. I forgot what GR stands for, but it's like there's a, you know, everything that's coming back is retro. So that's basically what's happening with the car world too. Like they were off it for a very long time, and they're just like, oh damn, there's kids that are out here that still want to race. We're gonna bring back this model then. So they brought it back to the Corolla, which is gonna be released pretty soon. There was a wait list for it. So that car is supposed to be, I believe that car is all-wheel drive. So that one's gonna be like the next race car to look out for.
Okay.
The Corolla.
No, just shit, man.
Just a little bit.
You know, you was never false flagging. Like, I would never know it, but I'm never gonna like question it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was always on your shit, going through pictures. You know what I'm saying?
That's a passion of mine, you know.
That's dope. No, that's cool, man.
So did somebody teach you about cars like that, or you just did your own research?
Nah, I think so. You know, growing up as a kid in Philly, like nobody really got cars like that out in the East Coast, right? Because we all take public transportation. So I feel like when I was a kid, what I would do, I would like sit on the block with my friends, and I'd be able to like guess, like say what car that is, drive by. Like we would just do the name game, right? And then I would know about these cars. I'd like know, like, oh, Honda Civics are sick. And then I moved to the West Coast in high school, right? Everyone in high school got a car out here, or out in California.
That's dope. Yeah.
I was like, hold up, you guys got. I was like, that's the car that like I see pictures of. Like I can't believe you have it in high school. Then I started going out to all these car meets, and it's like, obviously there's a basic knowledge of all the stuff I learned on my own, but California, like SoCal's car scene is so big, I picked up so much stuff like just being around people. So it's definitely not just something I learned on my own. There were definitely people that like guided me, and just information that I picked up along the way.
That's cool. And
like
just being excited about it anyway. Look, you go to high school, see cars that you see only in pictures. I'm pretty sure that'll pique my interest too, man.
I was mind blown. I was like, you guys are 16 with cars out here? That's crazy.
Yeah. Fire.
Oh my gosh, my goodness. Okay, so my questions are done. Yipes, you have anything else?
Nah, Sherry, to be honest, man, you're cool. You're a cool chick, man. You know what I'm saying? You're one of the homies. You know, you're always around us. We consider you as part of the gang. You know what I mean? When we just vibing and stuff like that. So, it's just pretty cool that you're out here to do this podcast with us. You know, so.
No, I was really excited to be here.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming out. I know it was early, and I'm glad you was with it. You know what I mean? And I appreciate it so much. You know what I mean? I'm glad we finally got to make that happen in person. I'm glad we got to do this in person. Just go over and fine, but I want us to do this in person. Certain ones I do want to do in person. You know what I mean? So we get the opportunity. You know, it's great, and I'm glad we can make the comeback with you headlining. You educate me with cars and everything like that. I love it. I can listen to you talk about cars for hours. So you actually make me want to jump down the rabbit hole and go digging and learn as much as I can. So I want to have a conversation with you next time.
Come out to the West Coast.
Show
you around.
Okay. But yeah, definitely. I think I'll be in LA actually in October. I think for the Festival of Fights, I'll be there.
When's that?
I think that's like mid-October or towards, no, is that Halloween?
Oh, Halloween. Okay, the last weekend.
Yeah, Halloween. Yeah, it is Halloween. I forgot.
There's an off-road race happening that weekend if you want to come through.
I'll pull up.
I'll show you around.
Yeah. It's for Marvel 3. Yeah, whole lot of shit. Obviously, we're gonna have some new games.
You don't want to come through and visit your hometown?
But guys, listen, we signing off. Thank you guys so much for being patient. Just know you're gonna get more of this flavor, Sherry. Again, thank you so much for pulling up. Appreciate you so much. You know what I'm saying? But
my West Coast brethren right here.
Oh shit.
Ooh. But we out of here. We signing off. Peace of love. Where can they follow? Where can they follow you first of all?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm on everything: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. You just search up Sherry Jenix.
There you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Road Dogs are signing off. Warriors Monsters. See you next time.
Peace.